So please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
More like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy here.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now that you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Luther Arnold. Pain?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go outplace everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go, we head to Kroger's and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
How
I
do you do it?
mean,
Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you gotta get the smile going on some shoots. But
Wait, hold up.
you got.
I gotta
when
try
it's
this
time,
with
when,
you.
it, when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try
you
this
gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Find somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Yes. Yes. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. I hope you guys had a peaceful slumber. Yes. I really do hope everybody had a peaceful slumber. It's been a tough week. You know what I'm saying? It's been a tough couple days. We've all been there's been a lot of chaos going on outside our own homes, outside our houses. Some of us have had to stay up late to protect your own home, to protect your loved ones, so on and so forth. Maybe your businesses, the whole nine. So I'm hoping that last night was a night of rest for some of you. And just to keep it straight funky, Minneapolis was still going crazy. There was live video of basically rioters trying to break into banks. That was actually going on last night, you know. So my heart goes out, my heart, thoughts, prayers, all that, positive vibes, all that stuff, go out to Minneapolis. Because, you know, honestly, when you think about it, the fact that they have arrested the other 3 officers, you'd think that it would take the protesting down to a nice hum, to a peaceful hum. Still out there, still making things known, still putting your foot down, the whole nine, right? But it did not do that. There was still chaos in the streets. There were still things that happened. And yes, some people tried to break into a bank. Very interesting stuff. But of course, we'll talk about that here in a little bit. I mean, there's obviously a lot of things that we got to talk about. We do have a very special guest coming onto the show later on today. Later on in the show, I have Kristina Klebe coming into the show. She's an actress. She's been in a whole bunch of movies like Hellboy to Halloween, so on and so forth. So she'll be on to talk about projects that she's working on, and of course all the things that are going on in her neck of the woods, because if I'm correct, she's in New York City right now, and New York is still not sleeping either. The city that never sleeps. Get it? Anyway, so she'll be on talking about all that. But anyway, fellas, we got my boy Tommy Boy and Jackie in the house. What's a guan, guys?
Hey. What's up, man? Yeah, it's I thought that we were gonna have these major storms rolling through the city last night too, just to bring more fun to everything going on.
Shimon, man.
You know,
craziness.
It's that time of year too, so I was worried about that with all the people that are going out and like on the streets. Like some of these big storms are rolling through different areas. I'm sure that you know causes a little bit more chaos in the mix, but maybe it keeps the tear gas down. So
yeah, it's possible.
You know.
I mean, yeah. Definitely that, or also it just keeps people from doing crime. The storms.
True.
I would
or
think.
Makes them want to get inside more.
Exactly. At least I would hope. You know, people would want to stay in, chill in the cut, the whole nine. You know what I mean? But that's just me. You know what I mean? Tom, how you doing?
I'm doing good. You know, it sounds like I guess there were still some, you know, some less than peaceful protests last night, but it sounds like mostly the protests last night were peaceful.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, most of them. Most of them
mostly.
were.
So hopefully things are kind of sorting. I'm not going to say getting back to normal because normal wasn't good enough, but hopefully things are getting a little more peaceful now.
Yeah. You know, I hope so too. You know, I'm not gonna lie. You know, it would be nice to get things back up in a more positive way. You know, like obviously they've made a step in regards to arresting the rest of the 3 officers that were involved with the murder of George Floyd, which is a huge step, or actually it's a small step. In my personal opinion, it's a very small step to a very long journey for just justice in general. Not just, it might be a big step towards towards Floyd's case, towards his murder case, but it is a very small step in a very long journey that needs to happen in a very, very short amount of time. Because I don't think that the protesters are going to be settled anytime soon. You know, there's going to be unrest for a good long time. You know, so we just we're just gonna have to wait it out and see. Wait it out and see what's good, you know, and hopefully that people will things will happen in the things will change in the very near future, and we'll be able to move back towards a little bit of like some resemblance of normalcy. Remember we had the COVID last week? I'm just letting y'all know, like about a week and a half ago we had the COVID, and now that don't matter no more. So yeah, just throwing that out.
Yeah.
So when Trump said that it would magically disappear in the summer, he didn't mean like from people. He just meant from the news.
Word.
Right.
Yeah.
Word. Isn't that crazy? That's so crazy. Literally, like not even a blink of an eye. Not even a blink of an eye.
I kind of miss days where we'd have like boring no news days where we'd be like, what are we going to talk about today? I don't know. There's nothing going on.
Yeah, look what Erica Badu put out.
Yeah. Yeah, she put out incense that smelled like her naughty bits. Yeah, that was real. That was real. But that's the thing. Like, you're right. There was a time when we didn't really have much to talk about. Now we have all kinds of, well, it's kind of the same themes though. You know, like when we had to move into this situation that we're all in right now, you know, we're all on our webcams and all that. We were here, you know, but all we were talking about was COVID. You know, everything was coronavirus every single day. And now we're talking about this, you know, every single day. But the thing is this is really important. You know, this movement is very important. The injustices that are going on, is shedding some light on those, putting them out there and not letting them go back in the corner, you know, not putting baby in the corner is really important, you know. But yeah, those days were funny, you know. Mm-hmm. When we were talking about Gwyneth Paltrow's, you know, vagina smelling candles, then it's Erykah Badu, then we're talking about Nipsey Hussle's, you know, baby mama possibly date, you know what I mean? Like all this crazy stuff. And now it's like, you know, then it was coronavirus. Yeah. And then Black Lives Matter movement, or George Floyd's death, actually. So yeah, I mean, now we don't have time to cover everything. You know, because there's so much to talk about. There's so much stuff to talk about, man. Damn. And then it's not enough time to do it. So that's why we do 2 shows now a day, because there's not enough time to cover everything all the time. You know what I'm saying? Have mercy. Anyway, you know. So anyway, let's, moving on from all that stuff, because here it is. This is what we do. This is our job. This is what we do today, all day, every day, is talk about the news, talk about what's going on in the world. So, hey, the fact that we can still do this to this day, this show has survived the coronavirus. Yeah. It has survived.
I think it's actually gotten stronger.
No kidding. It has survived the, riots and looting. It has survived. It has survived in so many different ways. You know, we're like that cockroach. We're like cockroaches. Like a nuke could hit this side of the country and we'd be just fine. We'd have weird things. I'd have like arms growing out of my head and stuff, but we'd still be going. The show would still be going. We are resilient, mother lovers, my mothers and fathers. Yes, we are resilient. Actually, Tom and I are not fathers at all, but you know what I'm saying. We are resilient.
You know about.
Oh, of course. Somebody had none of you know about it. No, anyway.
That's a dad joke.
Yeah, I figured that was the word. Because anything that's whack as hell that comes out of a man that already has kids' mouth, you just put in stamp on their head, dad joke. That's like a boom, dad joke. That's it. And just keep it moving. You don't even have to bat an eye or even give him that look like that joke was whack.
What I'm saying.
Exactly, like that joke is whack. You just go, dad joke. Moving on. Anyway, you know what I'm saying? Back to BLM. You know what I mean? Interesting. I don't think anybody has said dad joke and back to BLM or dad joke and BLM in the same sentence at the same time. I have accomplished something.
That's not safe territory for dad jokes.
No, it's not.
Black Lives Matter.
No, it's not. It is a bad area. I don't recommend it to my white friends. By the way, my white brothers and sisters, don't do it. Just don't do it. It's a bad look.
Noted.
I don't recommend it. That's all I'm saying. You don't want to get into too much trouble here. All right. But anyway, good morning, everybody. Good morning, D. Good morning, Jacqueline on Facebook. Good morning, Angel on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for coming in and commenting on all that stuff. We're going to get the show rolling. You know, I felt like shooting the proverbial ish for a second just to, lighten it up a little bit, man. Damn. You know what I'm saying? We've been all like, in this dark cloud, which is understandable, but we need to lighten it up just a tiny bit every once in a while. Obviously, the titles that we have above us are not they're not sunshines and daffodils either, but at the same time, just wanted to shed a little light on some stuff. Sorry. Anyway, we got to go into the first top news story of the day. Defunding the police has become a surprising new movement. Tom, you got the story. Speak on it.
Well, there's been a rising support for defunding, or at least not increasing the funding for police departments across the United States. For a long time, this was kind of far left-wing politics of saying, it was always just kind of understood that every year we're going to give the police a little more and a little more. But recently, people on the far left have said, well, we should stop doing that. We should stop with the budget increases, or we should start defunding police in order to allocate more money to community projects, whether that be the arts or education, what have you. But with what's been going on recently with George Floyd, there's been it's gone more mainstream. It's picked up some supporters that would not have voiced such an opinion not too long ago. So now there's a growing chorus of people saying that we should defund or at least stop with the budget increases for police departments.
Okay, so when you say, because quick question, because I know that there's some people that have already been asking questions in regards to the defunding the police situation. So I'm going to ask you this. When you say defunding, what does that mean exactly? Does that mean no pay increase? What does defunding actually literally mean? Because I know that there's a lot of people that are tuning in that probably don't know what that literally means. So on a literal sense, what does that fully mean? No more bullets? I mean, like what does that mean, man?
Well, there have been, for example, in Los Angeles, before all this stuff started, the mayor of Los Angeles was seeking an overall 7% budget increase. that would make the budget more than half of the general fund. But Los Angeles, the mayor has now kind of switched his tune a little bit and saying he's looking to make cuts. So it seems like it's been, I don't know if this is the case across the country, but it certainly seems like where we live, budget increases for the police are just kind of a given every year, or at least that will, at the very least, match the funding that they had the prior year. But there are people that have been arguing that with the increased militarization of police, do police really need all that tactical gear? Do they need to be outfitted like our military? And there are other people saying, are we really using our money as wisely as we should? That maybe we should take some of that money out of the police department and put it into more community-centered social projects. And there are other people that said, look, we keep giving the police money every year. We keep increasing their budget in the hope that they'll be able to better their community engagement. But it seems like every year the relationship between the police and their community seems to get worse despite increased funding. So there are people out there now that are taking a serious look at maybe it's time to start reining in funds allocated for police departments.
Interesting. Because I know that somebody on Facebook, D. Ferguson, just said on Facebook, why would anyone want to defund the police? They are understaffed, underpaid as it is. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I guess that is a very good question. I mean, they always say that cops don't really get the funding or get paid as well as a lot of people feel like they should. That they're underpaid, so on and so forth. So, I mean, what would benefit that? What are the benefits that would come from defunding, not increasing their payments, so on and so forth?
Well, I think there's some people that are angry at the way that the police have been acting. They don't feel like, because we do, they may be underfunded in some parts, but their funding has been steadily increasing in most cities. And the main argument here is that money could be better spent in other places. It seems like in a lot, I was just saying in Los Angeles, what they say, half the general fund was going to policing beforehand. And in a lot of other cities, let's see, it's Philadelphia was spending $977 million a year on police and prisons, which is 20% of their general fund. So there are people that are saying, let's take some of that money that we've been putting towards policing and cracking down on criminals and put it towards social programs, community involvement programs, arts, education, putting it in different places that aren't police, as a way of maybe fostering a better future for their communities.
I see what you're saying.
Can you imagine if we didn't have guns?
Yeah.
If policemen did not have guns?
And only had maybe tasers or a baton. And, because I think that's how they do it in some of the European countries. And, their death rates are extremely minimal. And, the confrontation rates are extremely minimal. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can go in and disable somebody with a taser, and you nothing has to go to be lethal. I mean, I guess if someone's, sitting in a window and spraying bullets down on somebody, then yeah. But then make them go into their car and unlock the gun and everything else, but they shouldn't have it on their hip at all times. But I think that's the big thing is you show up ready for a fight. It's not there to show up and de-escalate. You're ready to be defensive.
I think there's one thing. I don't know if. All right, so I'm playing devil's advocate here, okay? Mm-hmm. So forgive me, but F it. Here we go. Say that you're a cop. You walk up to a situation you're going on a particular 911 call, a distress call, that kind of thing. You pull up to the place and you're your gun is locked away in the glove compartment type thing, or it's your sidearm is there in the in the glove compartment area or the middle console. Okay, I've seen these in movies. It's very like futuristic movies where they'll ask for the authorization to get their gun because there's a such and such. So let's just say that is there. Okay, you pull up to the place, you walk up without the gun, you have no sidearm. Okay, you might have your baton, you may have a taser, but you don't have much. You go up there, you ring the doorbell. Next thing you know, you're trying to find out what's going on. All hell breaks loose. Your gun is in the car. So how are you able to, and say they got guns, they got all kinds of weaponry, the whole nine. What are you going to do? Run back to the car in hopes to get, authorization to get the gun out of the holster that is security locked into the car? You see what I'm saying? Like there's so many different scenarios you can play. Don't get me wrong. I mean, England, the officers do not carry firearms at all, but they have a stricter gun law in England, in the UK. So when it looks like that, it's like, man, when you look at that, it's kind of like there's so many questions that jump up. There's so many questions in regards to that, because here it is. The moment when you need the gun is when the moment that you don't have it with you. You see what I'm saying? So not saying, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Okay. Full on playing devil's advocate. But I'm just saying you can see when the moment that you need a gun, when you need your weapon, when you need your sidearm as an officer and you don't have it on you, is the time when you are in harm's way, when it's somewhere else, So yeah, I feel like sometimes, still playing devil's advocate, but I feel like sometimes there are moments that could be de-escalated because they already know that you have the weapon on your side. That you don't even need to pull the weapon out. They already know, okay, I better behave because I could get shot by this officer, so on and so forth. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, playing devil's advocate, right? Okay. But there's a yin and yang. There's a pro and con to both situations of if they only had tasers and batons, or if they had their gun but it was in a car, in a glass case type of situation where you had to get authorized by dispatch to be authorized to get access to said gun. But that's so many extra steps when there's a firefight going on, or there's somebody's in dire need of some help. So those are the things that, playing devil's advocate, I could just see posing as a problem.
Right. So I mean, if there's 90% of an encounter is that the police are going to have with the public, and they're supposed to be a public servant, and they're showing up ready to defend themselves, and that's not presenting as a public servant. That's presenting as a law keeper and enforcer. And I guess the difference would be that the perception of people would be different too. If you showed up to a gunfight and the cops showed up and people know that you don't have guns, you're less likely to be targeted because they're not worried about you shooting at them. Like, they're going to be there to help de-escalate the situation. But I understand, there's always going to be a situation because we are a gun-carrying nation. It's now required our police officers to have to be put in a defensive situation.
Word.
I'm not saying that it's possible at all.
Right.
I'm just saying, imagine if our police officers didn't have guns. All of these unnecessary deaths wouldn't happen.
Imagine all the people. Sorry, I was thinking about Gal Gadot's amazing rendition. Now I see your point, and definitely see your point, but then there's also the other thing too of, say a police officer comes in, and like I said, here it is. First and foremost, not all cops are bad. Let's just throw that out there first, okay? When we need them there, we need them there. If somebody's breaking into your house and you can't do anything and you need the cops there, like, who do you call? You call the cops. You don't call Ghostbusters, okay? They come in, they do what they need to do to a certain extent. They help protect and serve, right? As they should be doing. right off the bat. Okay. But at the same time, you have, if they did not have weapons on them, they just had a baton and a taser of some sort. And every say that again, what?
And dart guns.
And dart.
Like
I'm done.
Sleeping tipped.
I'm done with you. We're moving on from that. You just messed up my train of thought. What I'm trying to say is this: say that these criminals knew that cops do not have weapons. Do you know how much power that those criminals would have on top of those cops? They wouldn't care if they have batons and tasers. They'd be like, "We got guns, bruh. Like, what are they gonna do? They got their bulletproof vests. Shoot, we just pull the trigger. They gone." See what I'm saying? But when they have guns, it's a different story. It's, oh man, they have just the same amount of firepower, if not more. So we might not want to mess with said popo because we don't want to get dead. You see what I'm saying? Now, of course, there's also the fear of just being arrested to begin with. You know, we all have the fear of getting arrested. That's the number one thing that we don't want to have happen, aside from getting shot and killed, you know, or getting a knee on our neck and dying. You know what I'm saying? Outside of those things, we all fear going to prison. We all fear going to jail. But at the same time, when you take that piece away from them, then suddenly that fear, the fear of getting caught and going to jail, but all you got to do is run now. That taser only can go so many feet. That bullet, though, or that whatever, you know, the fear of getting shot at is much greater than getting tased or getting hit by a baton. You see what I'm saying?
I'd say that, like,
yeah, go ahead, Tom. Obviously, like I said, playing devil's advocate here.
As long as we're a gun-carrying society, as long as we embrace guns as much as we do, which, you know, I don't agree with, but as long as we're as much of a gun society as we are, police need to carry guns.
Right.
But at the same time, the increased militarization of police, where they look like they should be in, like, Afghanistan, as opposed to the cities in America they're policing. I mean, you can just see from a public relations standpoint, if the guy policing your neighborhood looks like he's policing a foreign country, where do you feel you fit in the United States? I mean, do you feel like you're an enemy combatant if you're just walking around the neighborhood and your policeman is walking around looking like he's patrolling Kabul or something? You know, I just think from if I'm out in my community and the police I see in my community are increasingly more looking like the military, it makes me feel less like I'm part of the country. It makes it feel like I'm under occupation from a military force.
It's like you're being policed.
Well, being policed is fine. I'm fine. I'm fine with being policed if it means that, you know, we live in a safe society with a strong social contract. But if I feel like I'm being, you know, lorded over by a military force, I can't see how that helps police engage with their communities if they're going out there looking like they're in a country we're at war with.
You know what? Let's open up the phone lines because I'd love to hear what everybody else thinks as well. So give us a call at 314-766-4581. What are your thoughts on this? I'd love for you guys to drop a dime and speak on it. Let me know what you think. Do you think that the police department in general should be, or there should be defunding of the police? And that means, and that goes on so many different levels. So definitely give us a call, 314-766-4581. Drop a dime. Let us know what you think. And, you know, just to back what Tom is saying, absolutely. If there weren't as many social injustices going on in the world between black and blue, I feel like things would be a little bit different when it comes to weaponry, the access to weaponry, you know, and then, you know, I think we had this conversation a couple shows ago where it's like, if the cops are, or maybe we hadn't, I don't remember, but where it's like, if the cops are geared up like soldiers, they start to act like soldiers. And I don't know if that means a good thing. That automatically means not a good thing. We don't want that. We want cops to be civil. You know, like when Trump says, I'm bringing in the military, that's a whole different can of worms that he's opening. You know, that's a whole different world. You know, that's war zone type stuff. Whereas cops, civilization, civilized, you know, the world, you know, the whole nine. You know, and I think that when it comes to police, yes, I do think that they're underpaid. I think they're underpaid like a mug. But at the same time, I don't think that if it was going to be defunding the police, I feel like a happy medium would be not defunding the police, but maybe finding ways to fund programs for the police that help with their job, you know, putting more programs within the, like, not only being able to, like a happy medium. So you're still being able to do the programs for the communities that go out to those communities and all that, but then also being able to create more programs for the police as well. Because like I said, like we've been saying all this time, you know, like, you know, there's not enough like psych evals. There's not enough like almost human resource type of programming where because I feel like some of these cops, some of these police officers lose a sense of being a human being, you know, because they're so busy being ready and active and ready for that action that they forget that that is a human being that they're dealing with. You know, it's almost like sensitivity class, if that makes any sense, you know. And I feel like those kind of things, instead of like actually defunding the police entirely, because we do need the police, you know.
Yeah.
If we were to take some of that funding and split it in half in a way, I think that would be a lot more effective. And instead of buying all this, you know, using all that money to buy all this riot gear and all these more guns and all that stuff, instead of putting it all towards that, putting it towards programs that will help the police be a member of society and a member of the community that they're working and saving and serving. That's what I think. I think that if we could find a happy medium, I think we'd all have a holly jolly Christmas, as I always say, you know. But definitely give us a call, 314-766-4581. Let us know what you think. Drop a dime and let us know what you think. Man, there are some comments. Michelle Smale on YouTube said the social programs would be used to replace police in areas where aid would work better to help people be contributing members of society. And that's great. That's absolutely right. I mean, you know, I think that if there were some of that money was going to those programs, yes, it would be helping inner cities, like inner city programs, so on and so forth. But I think there needs to be a yin to the yang. There needs to be balance. I don't think you could just tear out all the funding from the cops and just give it to all of it to the community. Have 50-50, because the cops need money too. You know, a lot of times they're frustrated because they're not getting paid enough and they're working crazy hours. As DeQuincy said yesterday, you know, he's a former police officer. And one of the main things that he said was there's just not enough men and women out there to cover the hours that these men and women are covering. You know, they're doing 13, 14-hour shifts where they're out there all day, you know, all day long, sitting in their cars, pulling people over, giving them tickets, so on and so forth. You know, like those things put a wear and tear on people, you know, especially on an officer who might be gunning or hoping for some action, you know. So I think that there's got to be some sort of balance for sure. Yeah. Most definitely there's got to be a balance. fellas?
I'm looking at Philadelphia here, for example. I mean, this is what gets people upset, I think, about this. Is the mayor of Philadelphia has proposed spending $977 million on police and prisons, about 20% of the general fund. And at the same time, he's proposing a $14 million increase for police while cutting funding for youth violence prevention, arts and culture, workforce development, and laying off staff at recreation centers and libraries. So pillars of the community are being, the funding for community programs, libraries, violence prevention, important things that help foster a healthy, vibrant community are being cut. And that money is going to police, which, as the last week and a half or so has shown us, aren't necessarily that well respected in the communities they police sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you're seeing that, the guy at your rec center is getting laid off and libraries are getting funding cut, and at the same time you see a guy walking around in military tactical police gear, and you're like, oh, that's where the money went. Okay. I can see where people will get frustrated and say, yeah, we need to cut some of that money off from the police and put it back into our community.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's just me.
It makes sense to me. I mean,
Yeah.
if you can go ahead and go to all the social education and social, helping programs, I mean, you should be able to help out a lot more people than, be giving, AK-47s and full-on military riot gear just to go in the normal day.
Yeah.
That's...
It's a good point. Yeah. I think that even Emil said all the way from Sweden, what's up, man? Good afternoon. Because it's afternoon over there for him. He said, I think police in the USA should have longer education or they need more practice. Maybe, and I think that what he means is like more training. So maybe some of that funding, like I said, would be more training. Hey, here's an idea. Don't put your knee on somebody's neck. That's one thing that they could start unlearning real quick, because you might kill somebody. I don't know. Little Bird just told me that. Saw a video, apparently, can kill somebody. Just a thought. So, I think literally that's what we need to do. And I think there needs to be a balance. Like I said, there must be balance. And I don't think that there really is balance right now. And I don't think there will ever really truly be balance. But at the same time, that's where we're at. I'm going to take this phone call, y'all.
All right.
Hey, you're on the mic with the Pascal Show. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hey, Pascal. This is Enemy Nation, man.
What's up, Enemy Nation? How you doing, my brother?
I'm doing all right.
Good, man. Speak on it.
I decided to call. I didn't hear no one call, but I think the police should absolutely be defunded. Honestly,
okay.
I think the sheriff's department should take up the job for most of the counties. You know what I mean? Because sheriffs are elected and police are not. And the police unions, the fraternity of the Order of Police and all that should be broken up. It should be the sheriffs that are directly responsible to the people. So if you got a sheriff and his deputies aren't upholding the law properly, you can get him out of there. You can vote him out of there. But when it comes to, and you almost never see any problems with sheriff brutality. You always see it with police brutality, which are two different entities. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in one city, like when I lived in Houston, you had the Metro Police, you had University Police, you had City Police, we had probably about 6 different police departments working in the same city, and they're all different police. And then you have the sheriff department that handles the jails and stuff like that. And those sheriffs that interact with the jails, they interact with people that have been arrested, so they are on a daily basis understanding, who is really the criminal threat and who are really light criminals. And with police, they just say, well, you know what? I ain't never been in trouble. Or I ain't never got caught. So you're a criminal. I'm a cop. I'm the authority, and you bow down to me. So it's a different mindset when you talk about sheriffs and police departments. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think the money should be taken from the police departments. They should all be defunded, and the power should be given back to the sheriff department. That way, if communities don't like that sheriff, they can vote him out for a better sheriff, and that's how you get progress. But if you can't fire the police chief, you know, or the police commissioner, then what's the point? I heard about the mayor saying, "Oh well, we just can't change the rules of the police department because the police department is run not only by the mayor's office, but controlled by the mayor's office, but it's also controlled by it's something like a police union, and so they control what rules that you can do, like putting your knee on somebody's neck. They control all that. It's out of the power of the mayor, and so you can't vote those people out. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if they make it to where it's an election-based system, and you have, you know, the money that you spend to hire cops, you spend that for sheriffs, because that sheriff will make sure that all the bad apples are gone, because otherwise he don't get reelected. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just my 2 cents on it, man.
Hey.
And you know, we'll talk about it. You know.
Enemy Nation, thank you so much for calling in, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, peace. All right. So
much for calling in, brother. Thank you.
So that's interesting. What are your thoughts on that, gentlemen?
I think Jack has moved away, but yeah,
it's all good. It's all good. But what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's interesting. I mean, with the police unions and stuff. I didn't catch where the caller was from, but certainly our police union in St. Louis has a troubling track record, to say the least.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and aren't there 2 police unions in St. Louis? There's the regular police union that's led up by Rorda, and then there's basically the African American police union.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what does that tell you about the state of policing in St. Louis?
Yeah, it's a complicated one, at least in St. Louis. I don't know everybody everywhere else, but yes, it's a messy one. It's very complicated and messy. You know, long story short, you know, I like I said, I don't have a full answer for that. I mean, he says in regards to putting money towards instead of putting the power and the money, like basically the money towards the sheriff department. And, you know, isn't that already happening though? I mean, that's my question about that. That's my question about it. You know what I mean? Aren't they supposed to have a higher pay grade to begin with already? That's why they're the sheriff. More responsibilities, more things to look at, more things to take care of. You know, they're like, you see what I'm saying, Tom?
Yeah. I don't fully understand the ins and outs of it, but I did kind of pick up on the I don't know, the police union stuff. I mean, it's just so hard. It'll be so hard to get any of this stuff done with, you know, the police union the way it is. I mean, in St. Louis, it's headed up by what's his name? Jeff Rorda,
mm-hmm.
who, I mean, I think you could ask Tishara Jones her thoughts on Jeff Rorda. I'm sure you'd get a very
it'll be a very
answer.
Yes, it'll be a very candid answer, to be really honest.
Yeah, you know, I don't know what to say, honestly.
It's okay. I do have a comment. It's a big comment, so I'm just going to read it right now. Ron Paris, somebody we might know. Ron Paris on Facebook. What up, man? He says military-industrial complex is geared up to produce. It's an economic consideration to our corporate partners. Next thing you know, these shields, tasers, body armor find their way to the streets of St. Louis because the military doesn't want, need, and can't use it. They are collecting army hand-me-downs, and it teaches them to think like soldiers in war, not like public servants. That's exactly, he's literally basically echoing what I just said a little while ago at the top of the show, where it's like, hey, you know, if you start giving them stuff where it's military grade stuff, they start thinking like a soldier. They start treating everything like a soldier rather than treating everything, as he just said, like a public servant. And, you know, the protect and serve goes out the window. Now it's all of a sudden a war zone. And I don't know if I'm not down for that. I'm not okay with that. That is not something that I go and say, hey, let's do that, guys. Come on. Let's give them all the riot gear and let's give them all this military grade stuff. Let's knock it out. I don't think those are good things. You know, I don't think that those are beneficial, you know. Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that a lot of police officers are ex-military. You put them back in the military uniform, God only knows what's going to be going through their mind.
Shoot, flashbacks, PTSD, flashbacks type of things. You know what I mean? They all of a sudden think that they're back on, you know, back being deployed somewhere. They start having those, you know, they start having those feelings. They start having those memories. They start getting into that anxiety. You know, there's a lot of things. Yes, that's very true. A lot of those men and women that we have are ex-military as well. And yes, they want to protect and serve, but they don't want to, you know, we don't want them to feel like they're back in the war zone. You know, there's no, I hate to say that. I'm not sitting here saying that soldiers don't think, but at the same time, like, there's no thought. It's more reaction rather than thinking about things. You know, sometimes, like we were just making a joke before the show started. Sometimes, you know, a cop, you know, when it comes to a situation that they're walking into, sometimes they got to play Dr. Phil. You know, sometimes they got to play Oprah. You know, sometimes it's all they need to do is just listen, you know, and be an understanding ear rather than pulling out their gun and putting their knee on somebody's neck. You know, sometimes that's what needs to be done. But once you start giving them military grade gear, all that stuff goes right out the window. Next thing you know is shoot first, ask questions later. Which a lot of it is already happening like that. You know what I mean? That's, you know,
absolutely.
That's when it goes to that point. What were you going to say, Tom? Does it look like you were going to say something?
I mean, I just if you put on the uniform of a man going to war, you're going to act like a man going to war. If you dress up like you know, like you're going to work in Mayberry. I mean, whatever happened to a
Where's
cop
the milkman
wearing like a nice starch shirt and like iron pants and just having like a side gun and being like, okay, I'm ready for work. I mean,
hey, Mildred.
Everybody.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, yeah.
Good evening, Mildred. How are you doing? Welcome to the. Right. Where's the milkman? What did the milkman come in today? Oh, shucks. You know, I don't know. Flabbergasted. Bewilderment. I don't know. Where's my steak and my martini, honey? You know what I mean? Right. Like what? But that's some old school stuff. Leave it to Beaver kind of trash. Come on now. That's hilarious.
Well, I mean, I just.
Go ahead.
What would be better? A guy that looks like he's, you know, walking off the set of Leave It to Beaver, or a guy that looks like he's in Apocalypse Now?
Oh, I mean, no. Leave It to Beaver. Leave It to Beaver. Leave It to Beaver. Please. Come on now. But it's just funny to think of it, you know? Like, hey, George, how are you doing today? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's just funny stuff to me.
Yeah.
See, I'm going to tell you something. See, we're going to do this thing. See, you know what I mean? It'd just be funny to me. Just the thought.
But the militarization of police, I mean, that's got to be reined in. And if that's where the money's going and you're taking money out of out of, arts and crime prevention programs and, recreation centers, libraries, if you're taking money out of that so a guy can walk around like he's, Private Joker in Full Metal Jacket, then what are we doing?
Right.
I mean, especially a lot, and as your guest a couple days ago, the police officer, I forget his name, but as he's saying, a lot of these police officers that are policing communities of color are coming from white neighborhoods where there are no black people that are coming from out in the sticks.
Yep.
And so if you're an African American member of a community and you see some white guy from rural Missouri dressed up in tactical gear, I mean, how does that make you think the police are on your side?
Yeah, you might as well run and hide. Run and hide, you know what I mean? But anyway, we got to go into a quick commercial break. But when we come back, I'll be sitting down with actress Kristina Klebe. So be sure to tune in. We'll be right back. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Sex, money, power, respect. All of us have in this community. Only good people different to me.
Hey, take up your glass.
The festival is crazy in the streets. Deception, the fakers and leaks. Entertainers and trucking for tweakers and losing their self because their loves are unique. All of us under surveillance. We wasn't feeling they made it. Half of them stumbling around and they faded. They live in the world that's degrading for people that's constantly hated.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, and we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have those little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now. Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
You're gonna perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is gonna leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Trying to tell me you haven't seen anything strange happen around here in the last couple days.
Bitch.
One of us is gonna have to go.
Ben, where are you? I'm not playing. I'm gonna leave.
Hey, welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Like I always say, if this is your first time checking out the show, please go click that like button on our Facebook page. And of course, to my YouTube fam, please continue to crush that subscribe button, spread the word, share the love about the Pascal Show. Anyway, I have somebody very, very special on the show. She's a good friend of mine. I've known her for a very, very long time. We go way, way back. Please welcome actress, writer, director, Kristina Klebe to the show. How you doing, sweetheart?
Hello. I love this. I love seeing you. Like this is such a cool. I love this.
It's
technology.
Technology is crazy, right? It has been such a long time since I've actually seen you in person, and it's been at least, I don't know, a decade, probably more.
Let's not even age ourselves.
Yeah, no kidding. That sounds really bad.
So I haven't been able to dye my hair, and the white is coming out. So I kind of went blonde, so when I started going gray, that you wouldn't see the gray.
Right.
But now you can see it, so it's just I may as well not try to hide it.
You know, sometimes you just got to let it all out. You know what I mean? Just let it go, let it all out. You know, don't be shy. You know, just be your natural self. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. We're all, at some point in our lives, the gray does come, so you can't hide it. It doesn't matter.
I feel you. So let me ask you something real quick. Where are you right now? Because you're not in New York City, so where are you right now?
I'm upstate New York, about like an hour and a half outside of the city.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we came up here. I came up here with my parents. I happened to have been with my parents when the whole coronavirus thing started. So I was in one way really lucky because I could take care of them and made sure that they didn't get sick and got groceries for them and everything. And
right.
But I've now been up here for 3 months.
Wow.
I'm like,
that's
it's
crazy.
Yeah.
You know,
alone with my parents.
Yeah, because I mean, yeah. How's that going? How's that going?
I mean, I thank God I actually get along with my parents. I mean, if I I don't even think we would have been in this situation if I didn't get along with my parents, because obviously I was in New York and I was staying with them. But yeah, it's interesting. It's weird. I feel actually kind of a little bit out of it, like out of the loop, like out of the work. Like up here also, we're in the kind of in the middle of nowhere. So I just feel this bubble. And it's kind of, now I'm kind of upset about it because I wish I was in New York so I could be out protesting, but I can't because I'm with my parents. And so this has been the most frustrating for me right now.
Yeah. Because not being able to do anything, like physically not be able to be a part of it, all that.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about just maybe jumping in the car or jumping on a train, just getting down there and being a part of it for the afternoon or something like that?
But my parents, I just can't risk possibly bringing back coronavirus. It has nothing to do with not being able to get down there. Until we 100% know that it is gone and that we're not in danger, what I would do is I'd go down there and then stay down there for 2 weeks to kind of quarantine myself, you know. But I'm trying to do my best to be vocal on social media and I don't know. I don't know that that's really enough, but
yeah, I mean, hey, sometimes that's all we have is social media. Sometimes that's our way of getting out there and being a part of the movement and saying how we feel and all that. Because I know that you have followers and people who look to you and that are inspired by what you do and all that. So of course, use
what's so
platform.
Crazy is that actually I was doing during the coronavirus, I was doing all these classes, like SAG, our union offers a lot of classes and free stuff. And so I was like, oh, cool. I'll catch up on all this stuff that I never do, that I never have time to do, or that I don't think I have time to do, or I don't need to do. And I'm like, oh no, this is actually a great time to relearn a lot of stuff, Like back when we knew each other, that was the beginning of our career, kind of we were in the theater, we were, I remember back then I was taking a lot of classes and doing so much, but I kind of lost. Well, I think sometimes when you become you're actually working, you think maybe it's I don't know what it is, but you just stop trying to learn, or not stop trying to learn. I take coaching and classes, but like basic stuff, like how to write your resume and how to like talk to agents, or what casting directors really do think and how they work, like stuff that's very basic, but you don't think that you need to go back to it.
Right.
So anyway, I was taking these classes and everybody was like, well, whatever you do, don't get political on social media. I can't tell you how many people in all these classes that I took in the last 3 months said, whatever you do, do not put anything political. And I was like, that's just not going to happen.
That's impossible now.
Well, now I'm wondering what those people are thinking, because I'm like, are you telling people that right now they shouldn't freaking say something? Like,
right.
I mean, what are those people saying right now? Like, oh, just can't post anything political because God forbid, the white supremacists that want to hire you might not hire you or something. Freaking. To me, in my mind, I'm like, I would, if somebody had an inkling of that in them, I wouldn't want to work with that person.
Exactly.
So I hope that they see what is on my social media, and I hope they don't hire me.
Yeah. Because what I find really interesting is, there's now a lot of boycotting going on right now. There's a lot of restaurants, fast food joints, that kind of thing that people are starting to boycott now because of them spending money or, donating to Trump's campaign, so on and so forth. But it's also interesting that I've already had to say this on a couple shows already, but I've already had to unfriend some people already on just social media because of what I've seen them post, with the things that they're putting up, the things that they're promoting, the things that they're promoting violence on protesters. They're promoting they're making fun of the fact that this man died, under the knee of a cop unjustifiably, so on and so forth. And it's really crazy when you have to. I just think I can't believe people like I know this is so ridiculous. I know these people exist, but I just can't believe. Part of me just still can't believe it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
That somebody would actually write something like that. But then of course I know what the reality is, but I just can't believe it.
Right.
And
that's what I mean, like where you sit there and you're going, oh man, in these trying times, the truth really does come to light, and the truth of people's real hearts and how they really speak and how they really feel really comes out right now. So then you see when something so unjust happens, and then you see how somebody reacts to it on their social media, and you're going, that is a garbage person. That is somebody who I thought was a good person, but now they're exposing themselves. They're showing their ass live for everyone to see. Who would ever want to do business with this person? Who would ever want to endorse that person? Yet they feel like they have the right to go out there and put it out there on social media like it's okay. That's insane.
Shocking.
That's crazy.
That's shocking. I mean, there was that guy, that writer who was a writer on, I guess, a bunch of Dick Wolf shows, and he said something. He posted a photo like, if looters come to my house, like I'm gonna come and get them, like with a gun or something.
Yeah.
Like, anyway, thank God he got fired, and he's like never gonna work in Hollywood again. I hope, but I hope that we remember his name. Yeah, but see, that's the thing, right? Like, a couple of years from now, like like somebody may have missed this piece of news, right?
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, this guy's a good writer. And then, but hopefully with social media and with people, finding things from the past, hopefully that'll be, we'll continue that. I mean, they found that thing with James Gunn saying like something that was a joke from 10 years ago, and they, they fired him for that. So hopefully there will be more of a, I guess, I don't know, taking responsibility or what do you call, like the, I've forgotten all words because I don't talk to anybody anymore.
It'll hopefully start like a change, hopefully it'll, start a, you know, a movement where people who are, you know, it was kind of like the Me Too movement. It really exposed a lot of people, a lot of garbage people out there. And, you know,
like, can you imagine
out.
that Epstein guy or whatever his name is, the one that they now made a show about?
Oh, yeah.
That horrible guy that,
yeah.
First of all, I don't know why they made that show. I started watching it and I think it's horrible. And I just thought it was so depressing and it was almost gross to watch. I felt like I couldn't watch it. But you know, yeah, like it took the Me Too movement for him. All these women had been talking out against him. They'd been trying to go against him and nobody paid attention. Nobody cared. The government was protecting him.
Yep.
And then it took the Me Too movement to actually create, you know, that change where somebody was, you know, was held responsible for crimes. So, and hopefully I really do hope that we are in a changing moment right now.
Yeah, me too. I really hope so too, you know. So real quick, switching gears real quick, you know, obviously, you know, just like last week we had COVID. Let's not forget that. We had COVID-19 last week, man. So
it still exists. It's still out there.
It's still out there, man. Because obviously you're holed up in a place in upstate New York for the past 3 months because you're trying to you're trying to avoid the Rona.
Yes.
So let me ask you, like, what has it been like? I mean, especially, you know, I'm sure you were probably in the middle of some productions, you know, in the middle of just getting some movies going, the whole nine. So what has happened? You know, what's been going on in regards to the movie business for you?
So really interesting. Yes, we had just actually had a premiere of a movie that I was in, called I Am Fear, which is I'm not telling people to watch it because it's also kind of depressing and dark, so I don't want to like make anybody watch a dark movie during these times.
I mean, is it a horror movie? Is it a horror movie?
It's a horror. Yeah, it is a horror movie, but it's kind of like a political thriller horror. Like and it's very takes a lot of brain power. Like you're kind of watching it being like, "Oh, is it about like it's about how a demon has infiltrated the kind of like Fox News." but and then
isn't that real?
And she gets taken. Yeah. Right. So but it's just heavy because I would say watch this movie like in a year from now when all of this has passed. Like it's just too much to for me right now even to talk about. I don't know. But that movie had just come out and I remember the first shopping I did for like to stock up on everything with like at Costco or Sam's Club or wherever I was, or Walmart. I went to the Walmart next door and it was on the shelf there. So I was like, oh, cool. Like I Am Fear is on DVD at Walmart. But then coronavirus hit. So I was like, I don't even know if anyone bought it. So, and then I guess, so what's been happening is, nothing is going on. I think the only thing that's going on is voiceover work. And I'm so lucky that I have a great voiceover agent and that I booked a job in January already. That's a voiceover gig that's going to probably go all year. Yeah. So I've had a couple sessions on it. The interesting thing is, even though I have like a nice mic and I'm a trained voiceover actor and coming from the theater, because it's like you kind of have vocal training.
Right.
But to set up a whole like home system and a home, not a real studio, but like in my closet to set something up that sounds somewhat professional was so complicated and hard. So I spent the whole first like month trying to get that together, and then have been able to keep a little bit busy with that stuff. But that's it. There is no acting. I think until they're able to figure out how to keep people safe on a set, I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, I mean, I don't know how sets, I mean, crew, everybody's getting sick anyway. Like everybody ends up at the end of the shoot with the flu or a cold or something. So it's going to be hard to avoid coronavirus.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think it's going to be interesting to see how productions are, how people proceed to conduct work in close environments on a set. especially like love scenes and stuff. Like, how are they going to do that?
Yeah.
How are they going to get butt naked in all these TV shows that are known for getting butt naked all the time, especially all these HBO and Showtime shows.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what they're going to do.
And also
in regards to
older
all that.
actors.
Yeah.
You know,
and
what
all
about
the
older actors?
Exactly.
You know, they're going to unfortunately.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I just think they're going to have less work, and they're going to be worked around because they don't want to risk. And probably a lot of those actors would be like, I don't care, you know, I want to work, you know,
Right.
I want, you know, but the production doesn't want to take on the liability.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and so, you know, you said something about, you just mentioned voiceover acting and all that. So if I'm correct, you were just recently on an episode of American Dad. Is that correct?
well, I was, yes, except for that
Okay,
I
that's
watched
dope.
it and I wasn't in it.
What?
So
What?
I
Hey, what-
recorded it.
how did that happen?
So don't ask me. I hate talking about this because this has only happened to me once before that I got cut out of something. And it happened to be in my first movie, which was a Spike Lee movie.
Yeah, She Hate Me, right?
Yes. So I was in that movie. I had the best time. And then I went to the premiere and I was not you could just see like the back of my head. Anyway, I think that happens obviously to a lot of people, but it hasn't happened to me since then that I got cut out of something. And I watched the American Dad episode the other night and I was not in it. So I recorded 3 voices for them. They're all in Italian, and it's like this like trip that Francine takes to Italy, but it's like in her dream or something.
Oh, right.
And I am completely confused if they took it and maybe put it in another episode or if it's cut. I don't know. My agents are trying to get to they said they were going to ask about it. I would be so bummed out because I have been waiting for this. It's one of my favorite shows, and I had so much fun recording it. It was like such an honor to be cast. And I'm like, if it doesn't air, it doesn't even get into something, I'm going to be so sad. So
Man,
keep your fingers crossed that it was just the wrong episode or something.
Yeah, I hope it's the wrong episode. I mean, you never know. They might use your lines in something else, you know, like as a funny joke or something like that. You know, American Dad is all over the place, so you never know.
I mean, I just can't imagine why would they take out. It was a funny storyline, right? Like, why would they take it out? And they have the voice, they have it all. Like, I mean, and they make so many episodes. Maybe they're just keeping it for another one. But
you still secured the bag, though, right? Like, you still got the monies. Right? You still got paid.
Yeah.
So
I did.
At the end of the day, you still got the credit. So
yeah.
You know, that's still dope.
True.
And of course, they might hit you back up and be like, "Hey, we really loved you. You're Italian. You know what I mean? Andiamo."
Yeah, I even translated it for them. I translated it from English into Italian, and I did the 3 voices. I did the old lady. What was like some of the lines? Like it was. Che volete? Non posso credere. Like it was something like that. It was some kind of like crazy old Italian woman.
There you go.
And then there was an Italian bus driver, and then I don't remember the last one, but.
But see, but that's good. I mean, because I know that a lot of people would. Let's go back a little bit, and let's go back to Cali real quick. Now, there's some people that would recognize you from a movie. They might go, "Oh, she looks familiar because of," and Halloween.
Yes.
Halloween, Rob Zombie's movie, right?
Yep.
So, you know, let's just jump back there real quick. Obviously, you I forgot the character's name. What was the character's name?
Linda.
Linda.
She was one of the 3 girls.
Yes, one of the 3 girls. One of the not the final girl, obviously.
No, not the final girl.
But one of the 3 girls.
I worked up to final girl since then.
Yes, I know. You've been doing
I started as a victim, and I
Yeah.
worked up to final girl.
So let me ask you something. Like you did that, and you know, I've never gotten to talk to you about that experience. Like, you know, auditioning for that role. The like, what was it like being on set? The whole 9. What was first off, what was the audition process like? You know, was it easy? Was it hard? I mean, you know, what was that like? Because that was a huge movie. So
So I think what they often do, and they well, not often, like a regular TV show, you know what you're auditioning for, but in this case, it was called the Untitled Rob Zombie Project, and I had no idea what it was. Nobody knew it was Halloween, right?
Right.
So, and the lines, like, you don't get the whole script, you just get your characters has like 2 scenes, right? So I got those 2 scenes. I remember I was not really living in LA at the time yet. I was there, but I hadn't committed 100% to moving there. And I had this horrible meeting with this manager beforehand that I was so mean to me, and he pretty much told me that like I was never going to make it in Hollywood, and I was like, I should have never gone to college. I should have just come directly when I was 18 years old to LA. That's how you make it, which is not true. Everybody has their own path. I do believe if you start younger, unfortunately, I hope it changes, but Hollywood favors young people, right? They love young faces,
young women, mainly.
Yes, so
men could age, men could be 40 years old and find success, but women, I had this conversation with a buddy of mine who's a director out there too, and he was like, it's really like women have to go out there very, very young and and plant their seed. Men could literally do a Morgan Freeman, just walk in one day and boom, blow up. But continue. Sorry.
I hope that it's changing a little bit with more women that are kind of behind the lens and doing more directing and writing, that they're writing stories for older women, and that it's not just established actors that are getting those. Like, I think it is opening. I think the roles are there are more roles being written for older women. So that's the most important thing, right? Because if you don't have the roles out there, nobody can play them anyway. So
facts.
But still to this day, when I look at castings, I see like 3/4 or like 2/3 men and 1/3 women. When like those breakdowns for movies and stuff, like when they send them out on casting, like I'm like, okay, Mark, John, Joe, Kevin. Oh, okay, Brienne. Okay.
Right.
Okay. And then you're like, where are the women? So it still happens to be mostly male dominated roles no matter what. But anyway, this is not Halloween casting talk now. Hold on. So, okay, going back.
No, but you're speaking the truth. Back. You're speaking the truth. And I'll say this on the side of being, a black actor, during that time, I got really tired of it because everything was white, Caucasian. And then anytime that they wanted a African-American male, it would be, either he's 16, like 12 to 16 years old, or he's in his 60s. They were never looking for any actors of my age range. It was always just the stereotype, it's just, a thug or this, and this. And it's like, there's so many other parts that we could be playing that they're not casting for at all.
Thank God that's also been changing. I mean, not that it's, not that we're ready to stop changing. We have to keep on moving forward, but
it's making changes.
Thankfully that's it. But I also know as a German what it's like to play a stereotype. So I can understand a little bit of always being cast as the Nazi. Okay.
Du hast
you're always the bad guy.
Yeah. Nein.
Yeah.
Sie bleiben zu Hause. Du trinkst Bier. Nein. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
It's and I to tell you the truth, I love acting so much that I'm happy to play anything, honestly, and that's a mistake. I know German actors that refuse to play Nazis. Like they're like, no, I'm just not going to play that role.
How does that make you feel? Like playing those particular roles where you have to, because you are German, you are first generation German American. Your parents are German, so your second language or your first language is German. So when you get cast in these roles, like, are you picking them and going, okay, is this a comedic role or is this a serious role? What is it like? How are you picking and choosing what not? This is so weird that I'm saying this, but what Nazi roles to pick?
Right. Interesting. So I have not, thankfully, ever been faced with playing a Nazi role that's like a real, where I actually have to get super into the psychology of it. So I've never actually, because like you've probably seen Black Klansman, right? The Spike Lee movie.
Yes,
okay,
absolutely.
You know how that guy played what's his name? I forget the actor who played that white KKK guy.
Adam Driver.
No, not him. That was the
Topher Grace.
The guy who Topher Grace.
Yeah.
So that role, I looked at him as if he was like a Nazi, right? Because I was like, getting into that role must have been so difficult, like to actually play it realistically and make yourself feel whatever, as an actor. So thankfully I've never had to do that, because I actually don't know. I think I would probably end up I would, it would be too pain. I didn't want to say something negative, what I was going to say, but so I'm not going to say that on air, but I would be so upset that I might do self-harm. That's how much something like that would affect me. Do you know what I mean?
That would make sense. Yeah.
Because going there emotionally like that. So thankfully the Nazis that I've had to play one was in a comedy. So it was very over the top, not serious. One was in a video game, in Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. I played Leni Riefenstahl, pretty much, who was Hitler's director. But in her case, I could still try to find something of the artist, she was an artist. She was trying to get work. She was not forgiving her anything, but so I was able, and it was a video game. So it's not, I didn't have to get too deep into the character in terms of the emotional or psychological stuff. And I'm trying to think what other, I think that's it. In Hellboy, I had a cameo as Leni Riefenstahl again, but it was not, I did not have to get into the psychological element of it. I think the minute as an actor, when you have to play that psychologically, that is, I don't know. I'm an actor who likes to find truth in everything.
Yeah.
And I think that's very hard. I'm not sure I could do that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, because I can only imagine what it's like to, it's kind of like Germans, people who are fluent in German, that are German, the whole nine, that are actors. I feel like that's the same thing, is the same equivalent as, a black person or black man or woman that has to play a slave, that does the slave movies and the period movies, so on and so forth. And it's kind of like,
I can only imagine how hard that is.
Negative context on both ends to a certain extent. It's like, all right, I have to portray
feeling
and tell
those
this
feelings,
story,
feeling that feeling, putting yourself in that position, right?
Yeah.
I can only,
they're not the same, but I could see how they're both
just emotionally tough. From an emotional perspective,
Yeah.
putting yourself in that context.
Yeah. But that's very interesting that, obviously because of being German, being fluent in the language, the whole nine, that would be some of your main things, But
and honestly,
it's
helped me. It's also helped me to get roles, with the German language, or to do a German accent. To tell you the truth, there has been a change. I think ever since Angela Merkel became our chancellor, she's done a lot for the country in terms of the way people see Germany. And so ever since she's been the chancellor, there have been more positive German roles, which is very interesting. I mean, I've been doing this for, fairly long time. So I've seen the progression of German roles and what kind of German roles are out there. And it is interesting that now they're getting a little bit more positive, or normal, that they're just normal Germans. They're not all evil Nazis.
So, that was going to say, how does one start to normalize or bring it to the forefront, the German roles that are on the positive? Because every time I've seen anyone who is literally German in a movie, they're working for the Third Reich. You know what I mean? They're usually Nazis. Yeah. So it's like, it's very interesting. Yet when I've gone to Germany, it's like, I loved that country. They were so open and so welcoming, and it was a party all the time. You know what I mean? But I mean, it was all positivity, and I feel like Germany is trying so hard to. And of course, I am not German, but from what I've seen, the perspective of it, it seems like they are trying so hard to show that they have progressed from that. They are not. They are not this. Anymore.
What's so interesting is I heard a conversation the other day comparing slavery to the Holocaust, and how the similarity. And I do not think they're totally similar, that they're horrible situations, but I don't think they're similar in what has so one, German Jews were very integrated in society in Germany. Not like, let's say, Poland or Russia, but German Jews. It was like your neighbor was Jewish, right?
Mhm.
So besides the ghettos, which also existed, there was a very integrated society. And so a lot of the German Jews didn't believe that the Holocaust could even happen. Same thing, like their German neighbors were like, what, how is this? I'm not saying that there weren't so many horrible Nazis and SS and all that,
Right.
but the integration in society was different. And so, and also since then, Germany has paid reparations. They've tried, like, you know, I mean, they've paid billions of dollars, if not more, I don't know what the exact amount is, but they've really, the system, it wasn't such a systematic thing as I think the race relationships are here in America. Do you know what I mean? It was more of like a smaller period in history that was so horrible, but it wasn't, I don't know. I don't think they're similar. I'm not a historian. I can't explain like the exact differences, but I definitely think it's different. And somebody was comparing them, saying they were the same. Like, if you were Jewish, wouldn't you hate going to Germany and think that everybody hated you? And I was like, well, I guess, but there are a lot of Jews living in Germany. I mean, I don't know. I can't. Again, I just think it's different. I wish somebody else would explain it better. You know what I mean? The difference.
And I understand it's a sensitive topic. You know, it's the thing of like trying to say something positive and say something that, yes, Germany has progressed, Germany has changed. But of course, you got to speak the truths on what really did happen beforehand, before the Holocaust. And it's like, yes, people were all integrated. They were all part of what was going on. But at the same time, there was a terrible leader that came in. There was a tyrant that went and just destroyed and ripped the country apart, and then ripped
who
the world
convinced
apart.
people that the Jews were taking their jobs. Well, hello, what about Trump convincing us that the Mexicans from over the border, they're all taking your jobs? Well, no, they're not. Okay, I mean, but that is what a leader like that does. They're very good at convincing people that their poverty, that their pain is the cause of somebody else.
As James Mattis just said, on last night or yesterday when he was talking about just working underneath Trump, the whole nine, as he just went in on Trump, he said Trump is basically doing the same approach as Hitler did.
Yeah.
The Nazis, the whole slogan was divide and conquer. And that's exactly what Trump is doing. He's not trying to meld the country together. He's trying to rip it apart so that he has control, so that he can contain the power. And that's literally what he's doing right now. And it's funny that I'm having this conversation with you, given the fact of we just talked about Nazis, and then now we're talking about this, and it's wild to me. And I got to ask you, what are your thoughts in regards to how Trump is running things right now? What is your opinion on that, real quick?
Oh my God! I mean, you don't want to get me started. I mean, I can't even really talk about the guy because I find him so despicable. I can't even. I just don't understand how people actually like him. Like, I'm not even saying it's a Republican or a Democratic thing. Like, you know what? There were good Republican presidents in the past. Like, I am a Democrat and I'm a, liberal, but I can understand liking a candidate, right? That's from the opposite party.
Yeah.
But how can anybody from their own party like this guy? I just don't understand. Like, there's nothing, I just don't get it. I just don't, sorry, my thoughts are not clear because I have so much emotion when I think about him.
And it's totally understandable. I think
and if I were, and I'm white, okay, and I'm if I were Black, Latina, Asian, any other race, any other, ethnicity, any other religion, I guess, I don't know, that's maybe a little bit less, but like, I wouldn't even want to live. I mean, I don't know how anybody else deals with that. Like, because looking at this man and the amount of hatred he has for anything that's other than white, and that anything that's other than whatever, like he is, it's painful. It's painful.
It's a lot to take in. I'll just say that. I mean, there's a certain energy that he has that he brought into the White House. He brought into his whole campaign. And yet somehow He won the election. He brought it into the White House, and he continues to perpetuate that energy. And it's just it's a terrible, terrible energy.
I hope that what it's doing is it's making the rest of us, maybe like what's happening now, get up. Unfortunately, I'm not physically getting up and going out, but like the feeling of getting up and going out and fighting against this, I hope maybe it's gotten to that point where we need to make a point and we need to get the message across that this is not okay, that he's not okay. I just hope that everybody votes. I hope we get him out of the office. That is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Is just get him out of office.
And what blows my mind right now, and I totally agree with what you just said, you know, yes, we must go out and vote. It doesn't matter. You know, we get everybody out in droves and we go vote. But one thing that really blows my mind as well is that what blows my mind is that there are more leaders and more, politicians, government officials that are now coming out of the woodwork now, even more now, that are saying and echoing what's like James Mattis has said. You know, the governor of Illinois is sitting there saying he's a bigot, he's a racist, he's a homophobe, he's all the worst things you can think of combined. He's the worst type of leader we can have. And it's funny how those things are coming out now when those things should have came out when he was running for president. But at the same time, I'm happy that it's happening now and everyone's seeing, everyone's starting to see his ass and what he really is like. It's all about getting out there and voting for sure. Yeah.
I mean, I think that I don't know. I just hope that he doesn't do some crazy shit like, you know, coronavirus comes back and then he says like, oh, we can't go vote. Like, that's what I'm scared of. I'm literally scared that he's going to try to like cancel the election or something.
I don't know I don't think he has that kind of power.
I hope not. That's what everyone says. But we never thought he would win either. So I'm just saying we should all be ready if that happens. Right. I think hopefully Americans would go crazy. Yeah. So
now, real quick, because I do have to let you go here. But I understand that you have. Tell us a little bit about Sinister Seduction.
Oh yeah, well that's a Lifetime movie that I did where I played my first mom. Pascal, how long do we know each other? I'm playing a mom now.
Yeah, shut up.
So anyway, yes, I play a mom, and it's scandalous because I have this young 18-year-old who, tries to seduce me, and he does seduce me, and played by Tanner Buchanan, who's on that show, Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai, yeah. Yeah. And so it was actually really fun. We shot it in Miami, and it seems to be getting a lot of play. People like it. I think anytime you have like an older woman with a young guy, somehow that's like.
It's on Lifetime. Yeah. I'm just going to stop right there. Lifetime, it's on Lifetime. So, of course, it's going to do well. Of course. There's a lot of women out there.
I love Lifetime movies. I love making them. I would love to direct one. I love how scandalous they are. It's ridiculous. I think my taste in art has just like gone downhill as the older I get. I'm like, I used to only go to the theater. I used to do theater. I used to only like to go to live music.
Right.
I didn't even have a television at home growing up. Well, there was one, but I wasn't allowed to watch it. And so like now I'm like, oh, Lifetime movies or Dateline, oh my gosh, like I'm gonna watch all this stupid trash.
Yeah, well, sometimes that's
it's not trash.
Sometimes that's what you need to do is just to watch some.
Sometimes you just need to
trash.
Exactly turn it off. I can't watch CNN all the time. I can't watch the news all the time. That's for sure.
It's a little depressing sometimes for sure. Well, Kristina, thank you so much for being on the show today.
Oh my gosh, I don't want to stop talking to you.
Yeah, we could talk for hours, for real. We definitely could.
I miss you.
I miss you too. It's been a long, long time. And we definitely need to, we'd love to have you back on the whole nine. And we could talk more about everything. It'd be great to have you on again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Well, yeah, let me know. I'm here.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're all stuck. We're all locked up. We're all locked up right now. So
Yeah.
I know where to
Yeah.
find you. So that's good. That's very, very good. So
Okay.
where can people go find you and follow you the whole nine? Tell them where to go follow you at.
They can follow me at Kristina Klebe on Instagram. So Kristina Klebe, Klebe, and same thing on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. It's at Kristina Klebe.
Awesome.
Just my full name.
There
my
you
full
go.
German American name.
Yes. simple as it gets, right?
Yes.
But yes.
Oh, can I just end this on one last note? Do you know
Sure.
how many times growing up somebody would say, Kristina Klebe, KK, what's your middle name?
Right. Wow.
And I'd be like, really? Like, you think my parents would be call my make my, I mean, you know what I mean? But do you know even how many people say that, or said that? I would actually get so offended and upset. I'd be like, that's not even funny.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And if people wanted to do that stuff, that would be absolutely, if people actually did those kind of things, that's a special kind of crazy,
Or why would you think that somebody would why, anyway, stupid.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Anyway, there you go.
Well,
so in case anyone was thinking of making that joke, don't make it.
Don't make it, because it's not going to work. It's not going to work at all. But anyway, Kristina, thank you so much for being on. I got to go into a quick commercial break.
Okay.
We will be right back. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Sex, money, power, respect. All of us have in this community. All the good people different to me.
Take up your glass.
The festival is crazy in the streets. Deception, the fakers and leaks. Entertainers and trucking for tweakers and losing their suckers. They're not so unique. All of us under surveillance. We wasn't feeling they made it. Half of them stumbling around and they faded. They live in the world that's degraded for people that's constantly hated.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have those little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
You're gonna perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is gonna leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Trying to tell me you haven't seen anything strange happen around here in the last couple days.
Son of a bitch.
One of us is gonna have to go.
Dan, where are you? I'm not playing. I'm gonna leave.
All right, welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Huge shout out to Kristina Klebe for being on the show. Really means a lot. She's a good friend, and I have not seen her face in a very long time. So it was cool to catch up with an old friend and chop it up. I got the guys with me again. We back at it again. What's up, guys? You know what I mean? Hopefully you guys enjoyed that conversation.
That was a great conversation.
Oh, thank you.
You know, yeah, that was very interesting. Although I have to say, I was watching that and I couldn't help but thinking, my German ancestors must have come from a much, much schlubbier region of Germany than ours did. I apologize to our viewers for the obvious downgrade in looks among your German guests today.
I'm done. It's like, okay, you know, we got Kristina Klebe and then Tom.
Schoenhardt. Okay.
Schoenhardt.
Yeah, I guess the proper German pronunciation is Schoenhardt, but some joker back in the day Americanized it to Schoenhardt.
Yeah, well, you know, he has a really good sense of humor. Let me just say that.
My wife's family has got a lot of German in them too. With the writer.
So, yeah, that'll do.
Yeah. Yep. Well, there you go.
Here we are.
The Germans. Anyway, so yeah, huge shout out to her. She's really fantastic, and like I said, that's the first time I've seen her in a very long time, like physically. You know, we message each other, talk, that kind of thing. You know, just via text, but you know, it's different when you get to see him face to face, and you're like, oh wow, that's what you look like. You know, you just forget, you know what I'm saying? Or for me, you're seeing her in big movies, you know, like Halloween or She Hate Me, or, you know, you're seeing her in Netflix movies and stuff like that. And you're like, hey, that's my friend. Yeah, you're seeing her in Hellboy and you're like, that's my friend. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. But you don't, you know what I'm saying? But when you actually see them physically, it's like, wow, cool. Yeah, you look the same. You know what I mean? There you are. There you are. But anyway, we got some other conversations and other news to go through because let's keep it real. There's something, we got an Armageddon possibly happening. Like, do we need to get a Bruce Willis up in this piece and a drill team to jump onto a asteroid that is the size of the Empire State Building that should be passing the Earth here in the near future? Somebody talk about that, because that is some interesting news.
So yeah, I mean, I guess we have asteroids that are, you know, kind of whizzing by us every day somewhere, right? A lot of them are small. They burn up in our atmosphere. They end up coming into our actual, you know, surroundings. But the one that's going through, I mean, can you imagine? I mean, that's a huge, huge rock.
That's a
but
gigantic
it's been one
rock
that they've been monitoring for a really long time. So it's known as Asteroid 2002 NN4. So I guess we've had our eye on it for, I guess, 18 years. But it's an estimated 820 to 1,870 feet in diameter. And so that's a wide variance. But it's expected to fly by Earth this coming weekend. But it's going to be like, you know, millions of miles away. And they said that the variance of the amount of I guess how close it could be was only like 121 miles is how much it goes off its track.
Bruh.
But it's 4.6 million miles away, and they think it can only go 121 miles off of its normal course that they have been tracking. So that is at least a good thing. But it's just one of those things that, you know, as you look at our 2020 news headlines, it just seems to fit.
Doesn't it though? Doesn't it though? We have murder hornets Let me just say that again. Murder hornets. We got a pandemic going on. We got riots going on in the streets. The cities are on fire. You know,
the locusts are coming.
Locusts are coming. And now we got an asteroid the size of the Empire State Building hurling right past the Earth. What else can we get today? You know what I'm saying?
You know what's going to happen? They're going to look at that comet that looks like the Empire State Building, and it's going to have King Kong on it. That's how screwed up 2020 is.
Just
it's like
pounding
by the
his
way,
chest,
King
holding
Kong is also coming to Earth.
Holding the little white girl just flying by, just. You know.
Is this what Tom Cruise is going up to space to go deal with?
Exactly. He's going to go and fight off the asteroid. Literally, he's going to do his own Armageddon. He's going to be our Bruce Willis. There it is. And our Steve Buscemi
versus space.
He's going to be our Steve Buscemi and our Bruce Willis at the same damn time. You see what I'm saying? Now we just need a couple more people on there. Like I said, it needs to be, the rest of the cast needs to be black. That's all I'm going to say. So if we're going to save the world, don't only have Michael Duncan, what's his face? You know, Green Mile. Michael Clark Duncan. You know what I'm saying? We don't only just have, Green Mile up in this piece. Put some Denzel in there. You know what I'm saying? Put some Viola Davis up in that piece. You see what I'm saying? That is a strong start of a cast right there, of a black cast saving the world.
Yeah.
I think at that point we can just lose Tom Cruise then.
Well,
yes.
This is the movie where the white guy dies.
No, but then we need somebody who's going to jump on the couch going crazy. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
So we need the Steve Buscemi character, because Steve Buscemi's character in Armageddon starts losing his mind. Remember? He starts getting like space, whatever. They called it something. I forgot what it's called. But he was losing his mind. He's like, hey, ho, ha, ha. You know, they had to strap him down and all that stuff. Nobody remembers this movie except me.
I do.
Damn.
I know I saw it in the theater, but I remember exactly nothing about it except who was in it. So I forgot that Steve Buscemi was in it.
Man.
I remember Liv Tyler. I remember
Ben Affleck. Affleck. You know what I'm saying?
Affleck.
Now you need a Ben Affleck character too. You see what I'm saying? You need to take out Ben Affleck and put in a new character, or like a leading man role. Good looking black man leading role. You know? That you know for a fact it's going to fill the seats up with young girls just daydreaming, fantasizing about said man.
The dad from Family Matters.
Carl Winslow? The hell is wrong with you, man?
Everyone wants that dad bod,
Everybody loves that soft, doughy dad bod. Absolutely. That's exactly what we need. That's exactly what we need. Anyway, so yes, that is crazy that this asteroid is that big, and it's going to be millions of miles away. Correct?
1 million miles away, with the variance of 120 miles. So, I think we're good.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, there's always a chance. That's the thing.
I think I can speak for at least a large percentage of the population now when I say, yeah, come on, maybe just come over here and end it for us.
Yeah.
Wow.
So there's like 20,000 near-Earth asteroids that we keep track of as of right now that we have found. Who knows how many that are out there that have some huge orbit that we haven't identified. But occasionally, the smaller ones and stuff have come through. And the last one that actually hit Earth was in 2013. And I don't know if you guys remember that story, and it lit up the sky in Russia.
Oh, yeah.
And 1,200 people got injured because of the impact. I think it went through a couple houses and stuff, and but the huge sonic booms in the sky, blinding light, and it was one of those things where it just hit the right spot. And they say that the reason that
that's what she said.
They say the reason that why the dinosaur asteroid that impacted Earth was such a big deal is because of where it hit, and that there was a underground methane gas deposit is the area that it hit, and that's why it caused such a big issue. They said if that asteroid probably would have hit someplace else, that there probably wouldn't have been the extinction of everybody at that time. So it the wonders of our Earth. We have so many different areas that are volatile, and other ones that I guess can take an impact. And so, you know, it's even if we do have something that comes here, it's not very likely that it's going to destroy the Earth, unless if it's the size of the Empire State Building. You know, I don't know how big something has to be before it makes it through burning up in our atmosphere, and then still have an impact once it hits. But I imagine if something like the moon was coming at us, we'd be in trouble.
You know, that's a fair assessment. Yeah, you know, ish is about to hit the fan if something like the moon wanted to get close. You know what I'm saying? Wanted to romance with the Earth. That would be a bad idea. Bad idea, y'all. Bad idea. But that's crazy that is actually going down. We're going to go into a quick commercial break. We will be right back. We got some more conversations, like a TikToker trying to compare the Black Lives Matter movement with veganism. Yes. Yeah, it's time for a natural born dumbass segment. We'll be right back. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
So you're trying to tell me you haven't seen anything strange happen around here in the last couple days?
Son of a bitch.
One of us is gonna have to go.
Ben, where are you? I'm not playing. I'm gonna leave.
Sex, money, power, respect. All of us have in this scrutiny. All of you people different to me.
Hey, take up your glass.
The festival is crazy in the streets. Deception, the fakers, and leaks. Entertainers and trucking for tweakers and losing their selves and nothing unique. All of us under surveillance. We wasn't feeling they made it. Half of them stumbling around and they faded. They live in the world that's degraded for people that's constantly hated.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that. So what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, and we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have those little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
You're gonna perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is gonna leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow. Hey, welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and checking out this show. Like I always say, please go hit that like button on our Facebook page. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, my YouTube family, keep crushing that subscribe button. Hit that like button underneath this feed right now down below if you're enjoying the show and enjoying the conversations and all that. I know a few people just tuned in and all that. Good morning, Nikki, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. You know, Malia Carr, hello, thank you. Or Malia Carr, thank you so much for tuning in and checking out the show today. All right, so the conversation that we're having right now, or what we're about to jump into, is kind of a segment that I'm still working on, but I like to call it the natural born dumbass. And the natural born dumbass of the day is this woman named Lauren Rebecca Perez. She is a TikToker, influencer, you know, let's just throw that in quotations and use that very, very loosely. But she is known for, she's a hardcore vegan. And long story short, she went to her TikTok and compared veganism with the Black Lives Matter movement. We're going to show the video. Why not? Like to hear it? Here it goes.
I feel like this needs to be said, and I really wish that more people would connect these two dots. But Black Lives Matter and animal lives matter. Literally all sentient beings on this planet deserve a life free from fear, free from abuse, free from unjust prosecution. No one, whether it's a human being, especially ones with differently colored skin than yours, and animals who are different creatures than you. If it's not their time to die, they don't deserve to die. So stop killing Black people and stop killing animals. Veganism, Black Lives Matter movement, it's all the same fight.
Wow.
So.
Oh my. So I imagine the reaction was mostly positive then?
I mean, it's like another way of saying all lives matter, but
okay,
in a more offensive way.
Okay.
Now, it's like almost it's like comparing Black people to animals.
Okay.
I mean, like as you break it down, it gets worse and worse the more you think about it.
Who on this planet would ever have the audacity to compare the injustices that go on in the world to Black men and women in this country to veganism? Who does that?
Miss Perez.
I really want to go in on this one really, really bad. But I'm trying my hardest to just kind of like hold back a little bit. Just to, you know, I just want to because I need to woosah on this moment, because I really want to say, like, you dumb. Like, you dumb as hell. What makes you think that what you're saying has any connection to the other? There's no connection to one or the other at all. Now, here it is. I understand that there's vegans out there that are hardcore about animal rights and all that stuff, but we're talking about a human being. Now, this is what's so funny to me, because this goes all the way back from when I was talking about Ahmaud Arbery, and I was talking about that video that we saw. I got real emotional. And then I was talking about the video of the girl boxing a German Shepherd. And everybody was up in arms about, like, they instantly were like the rights and the protection of the dog, but they didn't bat an eye about Ahmaud Arbery. Now, this girl has the audacity to try to compare the social injustices that are going on in this country to a chicken sandwich. Sorry, let me rewind that again. She's comparing the social injustices that are going on in this country to a chicken sandwich. Where's the connection? I'm sorry. Can somebody please explain this to me, because I'm a little confused. You got this? Fellas, do you get the connection? Is there a connection?
Even PETA was like, whoa.
Exactly.
Yeah, animal rights are not the same as any human rights, and comparing and hijacking of movement to push your agenda for animal rights is absurd.
What in the deep fried, Krispy Kreme fried chicken hell are we talking about here?
A moron, I would say. This woman's a moron.
This girl is straight up stupid. Straight up stupid. Now, I understand that she came out with an apology video. Fellas, I know she came out with an apology video. I haven't gotten a chance to find it. Maybe you guys can like on the Google real quick, on the Googles. Go into the Googles, and she does an apology video. I need to get that video so we can show that video out as well. It is a special kind of stupid, and it's unbelievable. All right.
I found a tweet that she responded back. She said, "I'm Latina. The message in my video was this: I'm a vegan fighting to end the oppression of all sentient beings on this planet. I support the Black Lives Matter movement and any other movement that seeks to do the same. It's the same fight for me." Heart symbol.
Well,
she does have
she has a video.
Here.
She has a video.
If you're
yes.
interested.
Yes, send it to me right now, because we're going to play that one too, because it is amazingly bad.
It's in 2 parts, so there'll be two links here.
Okay, that's fine. We'll do part 1 and part 2. That is totally fine. I want everybody to see this. This is the kind of stuff that I'm seeing on social media that really grinds my gears, because there are a lot of clout chasing mother lovers out there. There's a lot of clout chasing mother fathers out there that are trying to like jump on the bandwagon of this thing, and they're trying to either bring awareness, but they're doing it in their own ate up, messed up, skewed out of this world perspective to make it seem like, oh, they're woke, they understand. No, they're just trying to clout chase whilst saying crazy ass ish. Come on, man. Who has the audacity to do that? Real talk. We got
It would have been
more.
better if she was like vegan Black Lives Matter. At least it would have been like still talking just about people.
Hey, that would have been, I guess that would have worked as well. Still, she's stupid. She's stupid as hell. This is part 1, right? Okay.
Yeah, top one's part 1.
Yes, of course. Yes.
Yesterday, I learned an important lesson, that words matter. Not just my intention, but the way that I frame statements and the timing of those statements really matter. I posted a video in which some people believed that I was dehumanizing Black people or comparing Black people to animals. 2 things that I would never do.
But you did.
I have appreciated all of the feedback from everyone. I didn't quite string my words together the right way or the way that I wanted, so I want to be clear on this statement. I am a vegan who is fighting for the end of oppression of all living beings on this planet. I fully support the Black Lives Matter movement and any other movement that seeks to do the same.
Okay. Not bad so far. Not bad. I'll just wait for it.
I understand that my support online probably isn't wanted by some of the people watching this video, and that's okay. My video hit over 2 million views on Twitter last night. Since I have your attention, I'd like to refocus my message and share this.
Oh, God.
If you care about the Black Lives Matter movement, as you should, as we all should, please continue to fight for the end of police brutality and racism in major cities like Minneapolis, Philadelphia, New York, Chicago, the list goes on. But when the news cameras have gone and the signs have been packed up and peaceful protests have stopped in the streets, I offer an idea for a different path. We need to keep this fight against racism alive and bring it to rural areas like North Carolina. In North Carolina, for example, CAFOs, also known as factory farms, are concentrated the most in rural communities of color.
Sorry.
Good Lord. Wow.
We're not done yet. What? Okay. Okay, I'm not done yet. She's not done yet. Holy God. Hold on. Oh my God, there's more. Oh my God.
North Carolina's pork industry produces around 10 billion gallons of waste. That's 15,000 Olympic-sized swimming pool of literal pig poop every year. This waste is then sprayed into the air, making it impossible for the Black and Latino communities to do things that I take for granted, like opening a window when I want fresh air or sitting on a patio. This disregard for the lives in those Black and Latino communities is rampant across all rural communities that house factory farms and plants. The air pollutants from animal waste sprayed into the air cause stress, anxiety, mucus.
Okay. That is just part one, y'all. That is just part one. Holy God. Hold on. There's more.
I mean,
oh, I'm sorry. No, we have to. Oh my God, this is so bad.
I'm sorry, but
this is terrible. Oh my God. Oh my
it's
God.
It's like an SNL sketch.
Yes.
I mean, this is like something that, where they do SNL from home. This would be perfectly at home.
This is
one
bad.
of those SNL episodes.
This is really, really bad. Hold on. There's more. Hold on, guys. There's more. Oh my God.
All rural communities that house factory farms and plants. The air pollutants from animal waste sprayed into the air cause stress, anxiety, mucous membrane irritation, respiratory conditions, reduced lung function, acute blood pressure elevation, seizures, coma, and eventually death. Smithfield Pork, the largest producer of pork in the world, lost the lawsuit brought on by these communities, but nothing changed. They still have been allowed to continue business as usual pre-COVID-19 and will likely do so again. But the systematic racism and classism doesn't stop there. Disenfranchised.
Wait, sorry. What's up? What? Huh? Oh, we're gonna go.
Black and Latino workers make little more than minimum wage at the plants where the dead animals are processed to be delivered to grocery stores and fast food restaurants in your town and your city. In rural Georgia at the Tyson chicken plant where a Black woman named Annie Grant worked for 15 years, coronavirus spread quickly and mercilessly. She felt sick, but they told her to return to work with no regard for her safety, the safety of her family, or the safety of other workers around her. She died on a ventilator a week later. She wasn't the only one. Many other people have died at that plant and at plants all around the country that produce animal products. The Tyson plant didn't care about Black employees' lives. They're just cogs in a machine to them, a machine that makes billions of dollars a year. They didn't care about Annie Grant's life the same way that cop didn't care about George Floyd's.
What?
The rampant, systematic oppression and racism goes hand in hand with police brutality. Every time you pick up a burger with bacon or a chicken sandwich, as many people commented on my last video that they were going to, understand where your meal came from. It came at the cost of an animal's life, yes, but it also came at the cost of a Black person's life too.
What? Where's the kid? We might as well finish it. It's only 30 more seconds. Let's just.
And it continues to silently kill Black people and people of color all around this country. Slow and steady. So if Black Lives Matters to you, as they should, as they do to me, then you need to join in this fight. You need to rise up and keep donating to Black businesses, keep donating to bail funds in cities around this country, and stop giving your dollars to businesses like Tyson and Smithfield and the people that buy from them that have no regard for the lives of Black people.
Okay. That chick be crazy. Nothing that she said in the history of anything that she said had any connection to the Black Lives Matter movement. Nothing that she said there had any connection to it at all. She went and did an apology video. Like she did another crazy video disguised as an apology video. Mm-hmm. That was the worst video I've ever seen. You, sweetheart, just made vegans, you just gave vegans a very, very bad name. You know how they always say like vegans are always crazy, and then, oh, they always want to let you know that they're vegan and how vegan they are and all that stuff. You, my sweetheart, just made vegans look really, really bad. You just made them all look really, really stupid. What the heck? You know what I'm saying? You know better. Like, I would hope she would know. No, she doesn't know better than that. Why am I saying that she knows better than that when she don't even know that it's better than that? You feel me? Like, what the hell's wrong with this woman, man? Real talk. Yeah. Wow. This is a special kind of dumb. That's a special kind of stupid, y'all. What the hell?
And comparing environmentalism,
wow,
to social injustice. I mean, she's missing the point.
Absolutely, she's missing the point.
It's just shameless how she's trying to co-opt this, the Black Lives Matter movement in order to push her vegan agenda. And look, a lot of the things she said are not the stuff comparing it to Black Lives Matter, but a lot of the stuff she's talking about as far as pollution goes, sure, those are valid arguments, but pick your damn battles. Pick your battles. You just lost the war here with that.
Oh, absolutely. But the thing is like, see, this is the thing. These are the things I'm seeing a lot of, where there are people who are trying really hard to compare or connect two different things, two different ideals, two different agendas, two different whatevers. They're trying to, make them coexist as one. And it's like, nah, man, you just straight crazy. Yeah. You literally just like, you just went unhinged. And the fact that she had 2 million views on that other video, which she was so proud of. You could see it in her face. She's so proud of it. Obviously, she's sitting there going, okay, I'm going to have this scripted out, ready to go and practice. This is what I think, and no. Here's all the information that I know about this, that, and the third, but I'm going to connect it with Black Lives Matter, and when the people who are working in the factories and all that stuff are dying from working in the factory, and that's brutality on the injustices of the plight of a black man, and what the hell? Then you talk, eat a mushroom, quit eating chicken sandwiches. You know what I'm saying? What in the hell is wrong with you?
They're going to go ahead and guess that she didn't pass that speech by a black person before she put that on the internet.
Hell to no. Oh, and then of course, when she did an apology video or like an apology tweet, the first sentence she said was, "I am Latina." Mm-hmm. Like that even matters. Like that even matters. What you just said totally annihilates the idea, the fact that you are Latina. You are completely out of touch with what the Black Lives Matter movement really means. You put two different agendas and try to smash them together. There is no correlation to them at all whatsoever right now. None. And that's stupid. And these are the kind of stupid things that we see on TikTok every single damn day. And I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. So tired of it.
Well, you're tired of free speech?
I have the freedom to say in my speech to go F yourself, Jack. I'm just kidding. But yeah, on some real stuff, that's crazy. There's also I just got some news here. Chick-fil-A just put out a letter to all their employees. I'm going to read this here right now. It's brand new. It says, "Morning team. With the current events that are going on throughout the U.S. concerning the protest and what happened in Minneapolis last week, corporate and this stuff is kind of cut out. Corporate and blah are asking that you do not post anything on social media if you have posted in your bio that you work at Chick-fil-A, or if you have photos posted with you in your CFA uniform. We encourage you to voice your opinion on what is going on, but please do not have anything in your bio or on your page that represents Chick-fil-A. Any questions, please do not hesitate reaching out to such and such or one of the directors." So, what do you guys think on that? To me, it sounds like they don't want to be a part of that. They don't want to support the protests at all.
Right.
I have a feeling something else is going to get boycotted. I'm just saying that out loud.
Again, their chicken sandwiches are too good.
Yeah, but I don't care. That's about to get boycotted with the quickness. Real tizalk. Okay. Now we already do know that there's already a bunch of restaurants and fast food joints that I talked about in the interview with Kristina just a little bit ago. There's a laundry list of places that are being boycotted right now as we speak. I do not have the list in front of me. Fellas, if you can look that up really quick. I know that it's something along the lines of Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Popeyes. The reason why is because some of those restaurants and businesses have donated over hundreds of thousands of dollars to the Trump campaign, to the Trump presidential campaign. Now, I have a feeling Chick-fil-A, especially if Chick-fil-A is sitting there going, "Oh yeah, you can post anything you want, but please don't, please remove any photos. Don't tell anybody that you work for Chick-fil-A." Why wouldn't they want to be behind the movement rather than say, "Oh, don't tell people that don't tell anybody that you work for Chick-fil-A"? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
They should be going and handing out chicken sandwiches to the protesters.
My thoughts exactly. Tom, do you have the list?
I don't. I just want to weigh in on this.
Go ahead.
To kind of play devil's advocate here a little bit.
Go ahead.
It is usually standard corporate policy, but it's more for like corporate environments that you say the opinions expressed here are my own, do not reflect my employer. I think it goes too far to say, don't say you work for Chick-fil-A, don't wear your uniform. But think about the other way. What if there's some guy out there that thinks that Derek Chauvin did nothing wrong and is in his Chick-fil-A uniform saying, "No, I think that knee hold was perfectly fine." And, imagine if a guy went out there and said some really offensive stuff against the Black Lives Matter movement and against George Floyd while saying he's an employee of Chick-fil-A. I mean, it can cut both ways. So I can see, I think it goes too far, obviously. I think people should be able to voice their opinion no matter if they say they work for your company or not. But I could see it going the other way, where a guy could be out there saying some really awful, offensive stuff about the Black Lives Matter movement and about George Floyd. And people might take that as Chick-fil-A endorsing, not endorsing Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
There's a big, I got a list here of
oh, you do? Okay, people. Cool. Because I've been digging.
So, really what it is that, the majority of corporations have been called out and like ahead of time being like, "Oh, here comes the all black square with white lettering for all these corporations to come out and make a statement, but all the statements they're going to make are going to absolutely probably do nothing within most of these corporations. And that's all they're going to do is a surface level statement, but like changes actually won't happen within these corporations. We have, let's see here, fast food chains seem eager to join in and put out, their statements and things like that. And, obviously it's all about corporate continuity of their brand. They want to be able to be out there, feel like they're part of the community. But sometimes, maybe it's not the right time for them to voice their opinion if they're trying to make money on the back end of it. Burger King shared a cringy, all lowercase riff on the company slogan. It says, "When it comes to people's lives, there's only one way to have it, without discrimination." McDonald's posted a mustard yellow square in the names of black victims of police violence, and with a post that said, "They were one of us." Popeyes quickly deleted a tweet that said, "We are nothing without black lives," then reposted it with additional words sharing that their commitment to foster an environment where equality for black people is a priority.
Right.
Papa John's shared a statement from the CEO saying, "Our hearts go out to our black employees." And if you remember what happened with Papa John's earlier in the year, or in 2019.
I was going to say they're also sitting there going, "Hey, no, we don't have John there anymore. We don't have Papa John anymore. He's gone. He's gone, guys. He's gone. We're with the BLM. BLM all day." You know what I mean? They're working their working their asses off, trying to show that they're the antithesis of the racist rant that he had during one of those the NFL conference calls or something like that. And here it is. What is the list that's being boycotted? Real quick. I know that
as of
Popeyes,
right now, it's Wendy's, McDonald's, Taco Bell, Burger King. I mean, you name it. It's the major corporations. That's what I'm seeing on this list of the people are saying they're going to be boycotting those.
I didn't see McDonald's, but I saw Taco Bell, not Papa John's, Pizza Hut, Popeyes, Wendy's. There was a list, and I'm trying to find this thing now.
A big thing is that one of the franchise owners, which is this James Bodenstedt, and he owns a company that operates Wendy's, Taco Bell, and Pizza Hut franchises. And people found out that he had donated $440,000 to Trump's reelection campaign.
Thank you.
And was participating in the White House's restaurant industry roundtable. Mm-hmm. And I think it's all the people that attended that roundtable that people are saying to boycott, because they paid these outrageous amount of money to be able to go to this roundtable meeting. Yeah,
and the thing is I got the list here, so they were probably a part of this round table. Here we go. Taco Bell, Burger King, Popeyes, Panera Bread, so St. Louis Bread Co. Wow. Pizza Hut, 11 Madison Park, the Nomad, Bubba Gump, Del Frisco's, Joe's Crab Shack, and Wendy's. On Monday, these companies sat down and donated over $400,000 to Trump's presidential election.
But Wendy's did just come out with a tweet saying that.
But Wendy's came out with a tweet saying
that they have never and will never endorse a president.
That they have never and will never endorse a president. So that's
what
Wendy's
just a franchise owner that donated the money.
Right. It's just a franchise owner that donated the money. So yes. Now, of course, like what you're saying, Jack, not everybody, not like the entire franchise itself is in trouble here, which, of course, I've seen already, driving by and just taking a look at certain, at like, hey, just driving by to Popeyes. Usually a Popeyes that would have a train of cars wrapping around the building and then some, only had 4 cars. Looking over at a Taco Bell, same thing. Looking at these other places like a like a Wendy's, just dead. Crickets, the whole nine. I mean, there is definitely a boycott movement going on right now for sure, and that's continuing. There's even more. There's even more things that the other movements that are going to be happening here over time as things start going like not consuming any television on this particular day, no buying anything on this particular day, so on and so forth. But these boycotts are real and they're happening. The people really want to make the higher ups and the one percenters feel something.
Yeah.
You know, and the only way they do that is to get into their pockets. Tom.
Wait. And I feel like Lauren Perez is behind the boycotts on all of the fast food restaurants.
Because veganism is just the same as Black Lives Matter. Yeah, that makes no sense. Anyway.
I do want to point out, if you want to find out who in your local community, which business owners are supporting Trump, FEC.gov does have a donor search option where you can look and see who in your community is donating to Trump or Trump associated organizations.
Yeah.
So if you're looking to do this on a local level, FEC.gov has all the information you need.
Yeah. Crazy. You know what I mean? There was something else, Jack, you were pulling something else up, or you sent me something.
I sent you a thing that was just a little
Rudy Giuliani.
Well, I guess it's lighthearted.
Is it lighthearted?
Giuliani and
Is
Piers
it
Morgan.
Is it lighthearted? That's the question. No, it's not. It's more stuff.
I mean, it's just, you know, it's one of those things to sit back and laugh at, I guess.
Yeah, that's.
Is it lighthearted or no?
I haven't watched the whole thing. They just are very personally. There's a lot of personal attacks that
Oh.
happened when Rudy Giuliani went on Piers Morgan's show this morning.
Okay.
Basically, they're arguing over who is more disgraced.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, then you know what? We got to pull that up. That's going to be fun. So to give a little backstory about that, gentlemen, which one of you guys have the information? I'm going to pull this video up while you guys tell the backstory. Come on with it.
Well, it seems like, you know, Rudy Giuliani has been interviewed on Piers Morgan's show when Piers Morgan had a show in the U.S. And plenty of times they've gone on, they talked, had actual conversations. This was back when Giuliani was quote unquote more normal. And then now he was coming on today to talk about stuff, and Piers jumped on to him about the president's word usage. About, you know, comparing, saying when the looting starts, the shooting starts.
Yeah.
And right after that, Giuliani seems to jump right at him and saying, you know, basically calling him stupid. And then the insults just start going back and forth.
Wow. Okay. Well, then hold on. It's going through an ad. Gotta love that stuff. You know. Hold on one second. Does this have to do with? Sorry, I'm looking through this.
That one's not working.
Yeah, I'm just looking through it really quick to make sure that it's, because I just see Trump talking. So I'm just making sure, because so far I don't see anything with Piers Morgan or Rudy Giuliani. I just see Trump talking.
Hang on.
Yeah, if you could send me another one, that'd be dope. But that is funny that they're just going in on each other. Like, you're stupid. No, you're stupid. No, you're stupid. I found it.
You got it? Okay.
I think so. This might get a little loud, guys.
Rudy,
I'm sorry.
There we go. Oh, they're going in. He's angry. Giuliani's angry. Well, you're stupid. This is not great quality, but we're gonna make it. We're gonna make it work. Here we go, guys. Two old white men going after each other from across the pond. Here we go.
Rudy, I'm sorry,
And
but
the interview is over as far as I'm
you
concerned.
sound completely barking mad. Do you know that?
No, I don't.
You've
You
lost the
sound
plot.
like a big
You've
liar.
lost the plot, and it's sad to see.
You're the one who got thrown off of television here
Yeah.
because you had ratings that were about 2.
Yeah.
So don't tell me I've lost anything.
You keep going, Rudy.
I know what happened to your show, Piers.
Yeah.
And I remember the mistakes you made.
I remember-
And I remember how you sucked up.
Yeah, well, I remember.
So don't give me that stuff. I know who you are.
Well, we'd like
You
to
can say anything
apologise.
you want about me.
We'd like to apologise
But
for the
you're
language you
defaming
just
my
used.
president, and you are helping to create violence in this country with the way you're covering this.
When I
Wow.
used to
You're
interview you, you were an intelligent, reasonable man, and you've gone completely mad, and you sound
No,
deranged.
you're
You're
saying
abusive,
that because I
and
don't
it's
think
really,
you're
it's
phony
really
narrative.
sad to see what's happened to you.
It was really sad to see the way your career
imploded in the United States, Pierce.
Yeah.
If you think I have any respect for you after this,
He just
well,
won't let
maybe
that
you
down.
don't care.
Well,
But everyone in America knows you're a failed journalist.
Really?
Wow.
Well, you know what?
This feels like it's turned into a personal
You know
argument
what,
between
Rudy?
you two, and I'm not sure
You know
that
what, Rudy?
our viewers need to watch that.
I had the stomach to stand up and say that your gun culture is completely out of control and unacceptable. And people like you kept telling me, don't be ridiculous. We're entitled to go on shooting each other all day long.
Now
So
you're lying again.
I will stand by what I did.
Quotes from me about your stupid comment.
Okay.
I didn't quote that.
All right.
I was
quoted-
nice enough to keep my mouth shut about you because I liked you.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You've come on
But
here.
you were thrown out of your job.
You've come on here.
Wow.
You've been rude and abusive. You sound unhinged.
I haven't been rude.
You've been
You
using
haven't let me
profanity. And you were somebody I used to
didn't use
admire, Rudy.
profanity. Tell me
You were
the
somebody I
profanity
used
that
to
I used.
admire.
Okay.
Go
Rudy
ahead, tell me
Giuliani,
that.
thanks
Lie
very
about
much
that, too.
indeed.
What profanity did I use, liar?
Wow.
What profanity did I use?
Well, I don't think we can repeat it, unfortunately.
No, I didn't use any profanity. You were
Okay,
once
so
again
what
lying.
words did you use
Wow.
that we misheard in the studio?
I think he said that it said
You tell me the
sucked,
profanity
not
I used.
F.
Tell me that's exactly what you do to President Trump.
Rudy Giuliani, thank you.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. That dude is he angry. He
I feel
really
like he's not
angry.
wearing pants.
He probably isn't. You know what I mean? That extra coal is just cascading.
Maybe a diaper.
maybe just a diaper up in this piece, man. Wow. He angry. He was really angry. But see, that's the thing. Like, that's who we have speaking on behalf of the president. That's who we have. That is someone who represents or represented the president, and for him to lose his mind like that and get all upset, I can only imagine he's just, I don't know. I don't know. I feel bad for the dude. I just feel bad for him. Some sad stuff, man. Real talk. That's sad. That's hella sad. Yeah,
Well,
that's hella sad.
It's not sad. It's funny as hell. Come on.
No, it's funny
I
as
mean,
hell. No, it's funny as hell. No. I'm just saying, like, from where he was, a mayor of New York, and he during 9/11, he really did an amazing amount of stuff to get New York back on its feet again. And then to see him like this is just sad. I remember 9/11 like it was the back of my hand. But true.
He divorced his wife via press conference. And that was, I think, maybe before 9/11, or if it wasn't, it was shortly after it. He's always been a dirtbag. And Piers Morgan's a dirtbag, too. They deserve each other. It's a hilarious interview hearing them argue about who's more disgraced.
What blows my mind is that, he's still, Piers Morgan still has a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's still got a gig, man. But I guess the people still like him. The people still like him talking ish and stirring the pot. People love it when they go off on him. Like when he has guests that go off on him, people eat that stuff up. Well, look at that, for example. They should have cut that thing out a long time ago. They should have cut that interview earlier on in that conversation when they were going off on each other. They should have stopped. But what did they do? They kept the cameras rolling. That producer is smart. He was like, no. Keep it going.
These are the best ratings that Pierce is going to have in a long time.
This is amazing. Keep going. Or that producer absolutely hates Piers Morgan. Absolutely hates him. Is like, speak on it, Giuliani. Speak on it, Giuliani. Tell him how we feel. You are a garbage person. Keep it rolling. Keep the camera rolling. Keep the camera rolling. But he's like, the producer's like, oh my gosh, I'm so shocked. But in real life, he's like, keep it rolling. This is great. Tell him how you feel. Keep going, Giuliani. Man, that's messed up. It's like I said. Yeah, Giuliani's a garbage person for sure, but I still keep thinking about the things that he did in regards to 9/11. So I look at him and I go, oh, 9/11, he did some really great stuff. And then I look at him now and it's kind of like, wow, how the mighty have fallen. He went from something where he really stepped up and then he turned into trash. That's crazy.
Chicken's coming home to roost.
Hell to the yeah. But it's crazy, man. Like, that's crazy.
I just can't imagine. I mean, but you're right. I mean, you think about all the goodwill he had accrued after 9/11.
Yeah.
He was
And he
America's
annihilated.
mayor. And the hill he decided to die on is Donald Trump.
Exactly.
What a moron.
See what I'm saying? Like, he's on Hamburger Hill, bruh. Like, this is Hamburger Hill for him. Like, there's no point of him trying to fight for this guy. There's none. There's none. And he's still doing it. Like, just tooth and nail. Just going in. And it's like, man, they must be, they're just, they're bosom buddies, man. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Crazy.
Trump has something on him or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Or Trump got him rich. Or Trump hooked him up, got him rich with the quickness. That could be it too.
True.
That could be it too. But dang, man. Well, anyway, it's time to wrap up the show.
Oh, I got a game for you.
Oh, we got a game?
Let's play a game.
Okay.
Real quick. Something different. Make it a little bit lighthearted. I'm going to test your knowledge.
All right, let's play a game. Let's make it quick.
And I'm going to do it a little bit different. Instead of doing birthdays, we're going to do some famous, I guess, Black Americans, African Americans. Some are not necessarily African American. But I want to pull up some photos, and I just want to see if you guys know who they are. Okay?
Sounds fair to me.
Okay.
Can I sit this one out? I don't want to be the ignorant white guy. I'm going to go get a sandwich.
Let's see here.
Wait. What are the rules? One more time, the rules of the game. One more time.
Rules of the game. I got to see if you guys got to tell me who the person is.
That's it.
Yeah, just from the image. I'm not going to give you any clues or anything.
Okay.
Okay.
All
right.
You got to move out the way though. You got a big ass head. Oh my lord.
Do you know who this is? Would you like some clues? I can.
Yeah, clues would be helpful because I mean that's a throwback photo. I don't know why.
Okay, American political activist, philosopher, academic, and author. She was a professor at University of California, Santa Cruz. And she was a radical feminist and activist. She was a member of the Communist Party USA and an affiliate Los Angeles chapter of the Black Panther Party. She has written several books, including Women, Culture, and Politics.
I'm not this ignorant. I think there's some lag on my end.
She also has Women, Race, and Class is another book that she has written.
I don't know it. I don't know her.
This is Angela Davis.
Oh, that's it. Oh my God! Wow, that's Angela. Okay. All right. You know what? We're gonna play this.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Might as well. Come on. Pop quiz, hot shot. All right. Keep going. Oh, this is gonna be a bad game. I have a feeling this is gonna be a very, very bad.
There's some
game.
that are gonna be easier. Other ones that are a little bit tougher. This individual was an American lawyer, educator, and politician, leader of the civil rights movement. Democrat, she was the first African American elected to the Texas Senate after Reconstruction, and the first Southern African American woman elected to the United States House of Representatives.
She looks hella familiar, but I don't know why I don't know the name. Maybe you guys
Barbara
can.
Jordan.
So,
I was about
Barbara
ready to
Jordan.
say this damn lag.
Yeah, this lag is terrible. And if anybody knows, you guys could chat down below, comment down below if you know these faces as well. Bruh, you're killing me, man. You're killing me.
Here, I'll give you. You should be able to.
Yeah,
get
just describe
this.
him.
All right, and he has a couple of different quotes. This individual was an American educator, author, orator, and advisor to multiple presidents of the United States. He has a couple quotes saying, "In all things that are purely social, we can be as separate as the fingers, yet one as the hand in all things essential to mutual progress. Associate yourself with people of good quality, for it is better to be alone than in bad company." Booker T. Washington.
Wow. I'm gonna get annihilated. I have a feeling. Like
Okay.
I know the
Let's see
names.
here.
I know the names, but I don't know the face. That's not helpful at all. What?
Yeah, that photo's a little bit
Black man
out
I
there,
mean,
but you
that's,
should.
hang on.
There's a case.
Yeah, is that Frederick?
Oh, no, that's not
No.
Frederick Douglass.
That's
Nope.
That's Dred Scott.
That's
Dred
Scott.
That's right.
Yes. Okay.
And that's just from his from his eyes and his hair. I'm like,
Let's
I
see
know
here.
that photo. That's Dred Scott for sure. Frederick Douglass.
That's Frederick Douglass.
Thank
correct.
you.
Okay. We got.
Oh, George Washington Carver.
Correct.
Wow! Boom! Okay, 3 in a row. Thank you. That is
Harriet Tubman.
Tubman. Yep.
All right, I'm on the board.
Jackie Robinson.
Okay.
Okay. Muhammad Ali.
No. Oh, no. Is that like? Is that? Oh no. Who is that?
It's not Jack Johnson.
Nope.
No. Hell to the no.
No.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Sorry, man.
He had the reigned the world heavyweight champion from 1937 to 1949. Is considered to be one of the greatest heavyweight boxers of all time.
Is that? Shoot, I don't.
Known as the Brown Bomber.
I don't know it. I don't know.
This is Joe Louis.
That's good call. Good call.
We can edit this out of the podcast, right?
Right. All this, just completely omitted.
First African female American millionaire.
They just did a movie about her on or a Netflix movie. Why am I forgetting her name?
Are you ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is Madam C.J. Walker.
Thank you. Yeah,
All right.
that's her name.
This darn lag.
Here we go.
Malcolm X.
Oh, it's Malcolm X.
Correct. Okay.
Garvey. Marcus Garvey.
Correct.
Marcus Garvey. Thank you.
Yes.
Correct. Okay. Let's go with. We got 4 more left.
Okay. Martin Luther King Jr.
Correct.
Oh.
That's
It's Rosa Parks.
Correct.
I thought that was a trick.
No.
For a second there, I'm like, Rosa. Wait a second.
Last 2.
Jack, I just want to point out, it looked like you were sitting in front of her on the bus, and I think that's offensive.
That's racist as hell.
You can't really see her fully because of the way the photo is, but you gotta guess.
Give me a
hint. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
The head.
We got.
Cutting off her head is not helpful.
I know. It's just the. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so she's an American abolitionist and women's rights activist.
Okay.
She was born into slavery in New York, but escaped as an infant daughter in 1826. After going to court to recover her son in 1828, she became the first black woman to win such a case against a white man. It is Sojourner Truth.
That's Sojourner. Oh. Thank you.
Okay.
That was a deep one. That was a deep cut for me.
And here is the last one. Oh gosh, hold on. Let me. That one's really hard to see again too.
Well, just give us hints. Give us hints.
Okay. This is. He wrote multiple books. Hold on a second. Now my computer is trying to save. Okay. So. He was an American socialist, historian, civil rights activist, Pan-Africanist, author, writer, and editor. Let's see. some notable things that he has done. He was born in Massachusetts, grew up in a relatively tolerant and integrated community, but he worked at the University of Berlin and Harvard. He was the first African American to earn a doctorate. He became a professor of history, sociology, and economics at Atlanta University. He was seen as a member of a black elite that supported some aspects of eugenics for blacks. He was a founder of the National Association of the Advancement of Colored People, otherwise known as the NAACP.
You got me screaming out expletives. I don't know.
Is that a little bit better picture? You can see him now.
Better picture.
A little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
W.E.B. Du Bois.
Yeah, that's Dubois.
Yeah, Dubois.
Yeah,
so,
W.B.
Those are the people I got today.
Damn, I just got spanked.
Apparently, I need to sign up for a Black History class at my local community college.
Same here.
That was embarrassing.
I feel like I feel like I know all these, like the names I knew, just the faces were like gone. So thank you for embarrassing me. You know what I'm saying? Now I got to go and retrieve my black card real quick. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Anyway.
I thought it was a little something different, you know?
Yeah.
A little interactive imagery. So.
Yeah, no, that was fun. No, and that's something that we need to do more often. I liked it. You know what I mean? Anyway, we got to get going, man. It's been a wonderful show today. I really appreciate everybody who tuned in. Thank you to everyone who tuned in, commented, and was a part of the show, calling in the whole nine. I really appreciate it. This is what the show is all about. But anyway, Tom and Jack, thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it. Anyway, we got to get going, but I will be on at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight, so be sure to be on the lookout. I will be on live because obviously there will be some more developing news going on tonight or over the next couple hours, just talking about what's going on and everything. So be on the lookout. 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I will be on. Anyway, yes. Huge thank you to Kristina Klebe for being on the show. That really meant a lot. It's time to get going. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Sex, money, power, respect. All of us in this community. All the good people different to me.
Hey, take up your glass.
The festival is crazy in the streets. Deception, the fakers and leaks. Entertainers and trucking for tweakers and losing their seconds and nothing unique. All of us under surveillance. We wasn't feeling they made it. Half of them stumbling around and they faded. They live in the world that's degraded for people that's constantly hated.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. Now, as long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, and we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.